Introducing Sir Venom.
Last session, you defeated a kraken. The deadliest of creatures known to haunt the Sea of Swords was slain by your hand, but it was nearly the most costly of fights. The battle was a near-death experience for both Riku and Sir Venom, who were saved by quick thought and work by Vincent and Axel. In turn, Sir Venom was able to ensure the saving of Hansel, though you were unable to resuscitate his griffin. You kept moving west on calmer and quieter seas, skirting storms in the distance and making good time. Captain Davison Jonesborough and his crew spoke to you in significantly more revered terms, awe in their voices and the way they addressed you all, because you saved their lives. You saved everyone in your power, whether they be friend or captive, in the instance of some of the dancing devils, now under your maybe protection is the best way to put it. You head west towards Highport, or Seaton, or Saltmarsh, whichever one you choose. And this is your last day on the Grandmere before arriving at wherever you would like to be. Is there anything you would like to do while on the Grandmere during your last night?
Let's get a map up
Sure.
of the islands.
Would you like the Corin Archipelago, or would you like the entire Moonshay Isles? So more zoomed in on like the Saltmarsh, Seaton, Highport area, or zoomed out?
Zoomed in.
All right.
All right. So this is Highport, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're sailing this way.
Yep.
So I think we determined that we were probably going to use flying, various forms of flying to get to Highport, but we were going to like maybe park here because see, this is a prison, right?
Yeah, so the way that and you've learned this over the last several days, either speaking to Captain Davison Jonesborough, he has a certain amount of information, and you've also spoken to the Tieflings. Seaton used to be a prison. It
Oh,
is no longer a prison. It's a
oh.
ruin of a prison fortress.
So there aren't prisoners and stuff anymore.
Unclear
Oh,
at this
right,
time.
right, yeah. And do we know who they were prisoners of? Like, were these pirates that were sent here for, piracy, or were they prisoners of the pirates, like slaves almost, like
Yeah.
a labor camp?
It's actually Hansel who's able to give you the history, and it's funny that Hansel would be the one maybe, but it makes sense when he describes it. Um, Seaton was a prison colony of Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate, roughly 200 to 300 years ago. It fell out of favor over 200 years ago during what was known as the Guild Wars in Waterdeep, where the guilds within Waterdeep, there's all those like the Cleaners Guild and all these guilds that sort of hold power within Waterdeep. When that occurred, and when the masked lords came to power 200 years ago, and they sort of forgot about this backwater prison that they would ship their prisoners to.
So it's like the same story as Australia.
Very much so, as a matter of fact. What you know is that the town of Saltmarsh was used to it was effectively a colony of Waterdeep that was there to support the prison at Seaton. But during the Guild Wars, this was made 250 to 300 years ago. The Guild Wars happened 200 years ago. The city of Waterdeep has really forgotten about it for at least 150 to 200 years now.
Okay. Okay. So my thought is we sail, we park here, and we park both the ships because we have like one of the pirate ships. Uh, and then we make our way to Highport. And when we get to Highport, we basically not ransom, but we say like, "Hey, we're here to talk, and if you like kill us or whatever, you do anything bad to us, we're gonna give word to we're gonna burn your ship, and we're gonna make it so that your friends can't be returned to you. We're gonna do bad stuff to them or something. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we're the threats. How do you think about that, Riku?
So you want to try to find a equal footing with them, but then if that doesn't go well, then negotiate a hostage exchange.
Yeah,
What I'm hearing.
yes, we want to make sure that we have leverage.
Okay. So I think if we just find a way to word this correctly.
Yeah.
This is a common thing
You're
amongst
gonna be
royal
doing
families, yes?
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna be doing all the talking.
All right.
And so if anybody has anything
Perhaps now in my new form, they'll be a little bit more open-eared.
Yeah, if anybody has anything they want Riku to say, because this is going to be a very important conversation, and we don't want,
Riku points to his head and then says, "We can link up," and then nods.
Ah, yes, that will work.
I'll make sure to cast my telepathy spell before we go in.
That'll be perfect.
Riku vigorously nods.
Yeah.
Nice. What level spell is
yeah.
that, Sir Venom?
It's a 5th level spell.
And
5th
you've
level
only got
ritual
one of
spell.
those? Oh, okay. How long does it last?
1 hour.
So it takes 10 minutes to cast, lasts 1 hour. Gotcha.
So I suppose we could do it when we're approaching. We
Yeah.
have a moment.
Yeah, we'll do that at an appropriate time. And yeah, so
No, you might just have to burn that spell.
Sir Venom can fly. Ryuku's got his broom, and then what's up with that? We have that fly. I think Sir Venom got a fly or something from
The mount.
Yeah, we have
the
Yeah,
card.
I got the fly. He'd probably give that to Vincent.
Okay, and then I'll just and then
Archer man on a flying mount is the perfect combo if I've ever heard one.
Axel will bum a ride on either the
On the
broom or the fly.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
Do we know if the fly can handle more than one person? Is that confirmed?
Pretty sure I can only handle one.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
The broom can do 2. It's just slow with 2 people.
Yeah, speed isn't really as important as the flying part, because shouldn't be fighting while flying.
Let me just double check the max though. I know it's got a max capacity. 400 pounds.
Yeah. I was going to say 500, but that sounds right.
So what? How much does Axel weigh?
I will tell you. Notes.
Riku here is 160.
Backstory. I think I have him at 220. I'm trying to extras.
Cutting it close.
Description says 220.
All right, we're good.
Nice.
The math checks out.
I can go on a diet.
Yes.
I won't eat food for
So what that means is
Wow.
we go 30 feet around.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, and something that have been meaning to say that Savannah wants to do is the times we're on the boat where we're just traveling for a few days at a time. I'd want to set up some continual flame lanterns around the ship.
Okay. Continual flame lanterns around the ship. We can do that.
Nice.
And what is the purpose of it in particular? Is there anything you want to tell Davison Jonesboro about why you're doing that?
Just
Fancy
to
broom.
have some lights that won't go out.
Okay.
That way they can cover them if they need to be stealthy, but they're not going to go out from rain or a storm or water or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It's the Nimbus 2000.
What's the does the telepathy have a range?
As long as we're on the same plane of existence.
Perfect.
That is
That's
a range and a
quite the
half.
So we
range,
can
my
have
friend.
we shouldn't cluing the captain on what the plan is. So we have to like.
Should we keep him? Because I can do up to 8 people, so we can always just like loop him in on it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is we'll let him
I think the
know.
only other person we'd let in would be Riku's brother.
Oh, it's yeah. Okay, the cap. Yeah.
So you want to let Hansel in on that particular?
On the plan, it seems like it.
I mean, whatever's going on, in our behind the scenes, we'd probably let him in.
Yeah. Yeah. We own him.
Okay. Yeah, you can keep Hansel as your informed party on the ship for this. He has been working on, and actually, with a little bit of help with Sir Venom, if you would provide it, he's been working on Fine Steed to bring forth a new steed for himself. It's not a griffin, sadly. It is. He is able to bring him a horse, so he's currently without a flying companion.
Because I
But if
have Phantom Steed. I don't know if I can like combine my casting with his casting to do something.
what would Phantom Steed do for you?
It's a large, quasi-real horse-like creature appears on the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice.
Okay.
It sounds like it's just Fine Steed.
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't know what the
much.
difference between Phantom and Fine Steed is.
I don't think there's much actually. I think Fine Steed gives you like a real horse versus the incorporeal sort of phantom nature of it.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause Phantom Steed, it only lasts an hour, is the thing. Is Fine Steed like indefinite?
Let me see. I don't think it is. I think it lasts.
Oh, yeah, duration instantaneous. So I guess it just like stays.
Yeah. But you get either a warhorse, pony, camel, elk, or mastiff. So the choices are kind of limited.
Okay.
So we good to do this?
Just realized I know thaumaturgy now. Pretty cool.
All right. So can you just give me a quick description of where specifically you guys would like to go?
If there is a spot on this part of the island here, like the
Yep.
northern part, and then this looks like some kind of trail or something that we could follow around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the idea is to park the ship and then travel over land across the island to Highport in the southern section.
Yeah, because we don't want to
Okay.
just roll up and be like, "Hey guys."
Sure. Not an issue. Is there anything else you would like to do on the boat during your last day? Any other preparations?
Just sharpening our knives.
Okay. While you are on the boat, who has the Stone of Sending with Van Richten?
That would be Sir Venom.
Okay. In the evening, before you are set to approach the islands of the Corin Archipelago, you do get a message at dinner while you're eating. You hear the words in your mind. No sign of the order. All quiet on the road. Book requires magic to read it, as it's written in some form of netherese. Stay safe. As the 25 words leave your mind, you can reply if you so wish.
Yeah, I guess I'd fill him in and be like, on our way to meet some pirates. Stay safe. Keep us up to date.
You have like, I want to say 10 words left.
Smooches.
Yeah, smooches, love you.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me like, Vincent really misses you.
Gotcha. There's no reply, but seems like a positive message for the most part.
We're about to meet his ex-girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
That was mentioned by one of the other tieflings.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
correct.
Yeah.
so I'd be like, yeah, about to meet with your ex to try to save the world.
It's like
Any
Larissa
advice on how to deal with
Snowman.
her?
So, if you would like to send a message to him using the sending stone, you can do so. You do. He has one to send to you per day, and you get a free response. You have one to send to him per day, and he gets a free response.
Yeah, do that.
So you say that you're about to go meet up with Larissa Snowman.
Yep. I have to meet up with Larissa Snowman to get her to leave the cities alone, to stop thieving and pillaging. What's she
Gotcha.
like?
Stop raiding the Sword Coast.
There's silence for quite a bit of time, actually, and you have a sneaking suspicion he's trying to determine how to say things and what to say. The reply eventually comes, and it's Larissa is quick to anger, but the best of friends and allies. She will do anything for those in her care. Be careful.
Seems oddly specific.
Alright, so maybe we try to come up with a way to convince her that siding with us is the best way to help get rid of the curse. That's fucking with all of them.
Yeah, they're getting scammed by the Dream Lady.
Yes, we need to both link up and take that lady down together. That's the real problem.
Okay.
Perfect.
You guys finish your dinner without any issues. If there's nothing else to do on the boat, you give the orders to Davison Jonesboro to cause a slow approach in the evening overnight to see what you can see in the morning. You wake, nothing's on the horizon. Though, go ahead and give me a perception check. I assume from Sir Venom, you're probably watching out in the crow's nest. Is that safe to assume?
Oh yeah, with my fancy spyglass.
Gotcha.
So you want a perception roll?
Yeah, go ahead and give a perception check. And then add the d4 from your spyglass. Oh, wow, 24.
So 25 total.
Gotcha. It's actually about mid-morning that you can see not land, but you probably see the mast of a ship just over the horizon. It takes you a moment for it to come into focus, but it's really only with the aid of the spyglass that lets you see what you believe to be the colors at the top of this mast up above. And as before, you suspect you know exactly what's on the mast, but it's the black of the flag in particular that you catch first.
Black flag.
Pirates.
Basically due west.
I'd call down to the rest of the crew and be like, we got a ship over yonder off to which way am I looking off the ship? Port, starboard?
You're looking due west. The sun is behind you in the east, and so if anything, you have an advantage. You are sailing out of the sun towards them.
Okay, so
Look him up.
yeah, it's a big ship dead ahead. Flying unfriendly colors.
So
We're here
would
to make peace with these people.
yeah. So is it the same as the ship, the other pirates that we've already fought? Like, is they flying the same
Riku
flag?
turns to captives. You there? Those are your colors?
Yeah, the tiefling are able to confirm that there's most likely a ship on the watch for you, considering your actions. Just as a reminder, those slain return to the Sea Ghost as the dancing devils are tethered to the ship itself. So those that you've killed have been able to inform Larissa Snowman and the other dancing devils that you're probably on your way.
Of course. Well, I guess we go up and try to talk, Riku says. What else are we going to do?
Yeah, is
Send
there-
them back?
Is there some way to signal parlay?
You can do that with flags if that's what you would like Davison Jonesboro to do.
Yes.
Okay. And it doesn't take you long to reach each other. It takes about an hour or so for you to reach the ship in front of you. It is a crew that looks to be doubled in size as you approach. The parlay flag that you put up is met by a equal parlay flag of their own. They don't take down their colors, but they do put up a parlay flag to ensure that their intent is also understood. And as the ships approach and get up side by side, there is an individual, a tiefling, who stands up and he says, "I'm the captain of this vessel, Corsair number 3. You be the roosters and the crew from Waterdeep? That be correct?"
I would have telepathically bonded us on like the sail over to meet this ship. So assuming that would have taken like a few minutes.
Yeah, definitely. You could even time it so that you basically have the full hour right now.
Okay.
So Riku
Like-
would just like look to the captain and say, "You mind if I handle this real quick?"
Davison says, "Oh, floor is yours."
All right. Riku turns to the man and says, "Aye, that be us, and I speak for the crew."
Understood. You've been
Listen. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
He says, "You've been requested to land at Highport.
Yes.
Larissa Snowmaid would like to speak with you."
Ah, isn't that funny? Riku looks around to everyone. We wish for an audience with her. We came here bearing a gift. He like gestures to the other ship, and then like shows him like the other crewmates. He's like, "We
That's
got
a-
off on the wrong page, and we'd like to make amends for our our first interaction here.
Got off on the wrong peg leg, if you
Let's
will.
not let's be real. We weren't the aggressors." Riku turns back, but he's like, "But hey, that's all in the past. We're here to talk about the future."
Sort of nods and he says, "As long as you cause no trouble on the way, we'll cause you no trouble on the way
Look,
either."
if we were here for trouble, we would have already caused it. Riku smiles and like looks at his sword on his shoulder.
Roll an intimidation check.
Sure.
Hmm.
Why is the live thing being funky today?
What thing?
The live feed or our rolls.
Oh, I don't know. Does it seem weird?
It just keeps getting off. Like it won't stay on like the most current roll. It's like a little bit higher.
Oh, weird.
Odd. Yeah, weird glitch.
Yeah, it's not the most intimidating of phrases as you say as you smile. They actually seem to give you cold stares. In fact, as you look at them, Riku, what's your passive insight?
Passive insight is 13.
That's good enough. You recognize one or two faces. In particular, you recognize one of the tieflings who was sprinting across the docks to try to get the Chardalon to the boats so that they could load it off of the docks onto their own ships.
So he saw me and Axel do our cool teleport maneuver.
Not just that, you might have even killed this individual. You can't fully remember with the insight
Yeah.
check, but you definitely recognize the face of at least a few of the folk on the boat
But I look
across from you.
different now too, though.
Sure. But they recognize Axel, they recognize Sir Venom, they recognize Vincent, right?
They probably recognize the sword if they were there.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're not going to take very kindly to you, considering
Yeah.
the violence you've meted out across them and their friends.
We've already murdered a bunch of them.
I mean,
Some of these people we may have already killed twice.
they attacked us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told
Like I
him
said,
that last.
We
I
were
told the dream
defending.
lady that.
It's okay.
Nonetheless,
I guess, yeah, we press on.
they would like to escort you forward. And
As we're like driving there, Riku turns to like the people we have captive, and it's like, they wouldn't be leading us into a trap, would they?
And they all sort of shrug and say, no more so than anything else you've dealt with. I mean, you got out of Treasure Island.
That's true. We've got out of pretty bad spots, haven't we, boys?
They say.
Without sacrificing our souls to the devil.
We just killed a
We
kraken.
are super badass. Oh, before I forget, they mentioned the docks. We still have we managed to steal both the strong boxes. I don't think we ever looked inside to see what we stole.
If
don't know
you
if
would like
this
to
is
do
the time.
so,
But
you can.
Now is not the time.
Yeah, I wanted to like verbalize it so that we don't forget. But we have two
Yeah.
like strong boxes of stolen like gems and rubies and goodies.
You still have
it's
that
true.
on you?
So it's in one of our
Yeah, they're in the
bags
bags
of holding.
the bag of holding.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think we managed to get both of them.
We just never looked to see what was in them.
Yeah, we just forgot about them as soon as we stole them.
Understood. It takes you the better part of half a day to reach the island, and you can see that there are islands to your left, to your right. There are some sort of set of islands to the north with a little mountain on top of one of them, and a much larger island off to the northwest, in particular, with cliffs and wooded forests that passes off the distance as you turn to the southwest. And you go sort of southwest around this high cliffed island with a clear volcanic peak in the center, woods up alongside the volcano, and a plume of smoke does erupt. You sort of see this like plume of smoke, small sort of wispy plume of smoke at the top of the mountain. So you know that it is an active volcano. I'm not sure if any of you have ever seen or experienced that as characters. But you turn to the southwest, the ships taking the fair winds from east to west until you round a bend and you come within view of what must be Highport. Let me switch the map so you can see what's going on here. As you round the bend, it's clear that this is quite the cove to hide in. You see the enormous ship, the Sea Dancer, in between some cliffs that form what was once have been an enormous volcanic cavern. You see the remnants of a ship have been placed up aside inside the hills and the cliffs there to form what is effectively a large misshapen structure of some sort. The masts rising out and buildings being built off of the mast in a way that is reminiscent of a shanty town. You see 2 or 3 other individual corsairs in harbor off to the side. Their planks going up into the magma rock siding that Highport exists upon. It's clear, very clear, why they call this place Highport. You see the shipwright building beneath the shanty town built off of the corsairs above, and you see that this is where they repair and build and take care of their own vessels. But it's truly the sea ghost here that dominates the scene, as well as the buildings above. Rather takes your breath away. Davison Jonesboro is pointed to dock alongside the sea ghost here, so that the Grandmere can place a plank up onto a cliffside of Highport.
Can you show our boat next to this other boat? Because in this other boat's like a cruise ship size, right?
Yeah, it's enormous. I actually don't have like a good representation
Okay.
necessarily yet.
Well, is this one fit like that one, the one that it's on right now?
Sorry, say that again, Vincent?
There's a pic, am I on the right thing on Owlbear? That looks like a huge ship with the little ship.
Do you guys not see
Might have to
Highport?
hit refresh or
Yeah,
whatever.
refresh.
Okay, well, there's a cool picture here anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'd be like that, right? Compared to this.
Yeah,
something
this
just really small.
This one's like pretty
Oh
small,
yeah, that's
but
the one I'm
it's like
looking
this
at.
size roughly. And the sea ghost is like enormous here.
Okay.
As you place the gangplank up onto Highport, you are met by a delegation of armed tieflings who usher you forward. Crew is asked to remain on board. No harm shall come of them, so long as they stay where they are. The envoy from Waterdeep, the Roosters, are requested for an audience with Madame Larissa Snowmane. If you would please follow us. And there's about 10 of them. They have weapons. They don't look like they want to use them. They all have them sheathed, as a matter of fact. And some of them have crossbows, for instance, but they're slung over their shoulders. They're in no way ready for a fight.
I feel like anytime someone says the Roosters, we should be making bird noises. Like, it should be our
Walk at them.
our intimidation call.
Do it just like they do in Hook.
Rufio.
Oh,
Rufio.
we don't have a Okay. Yeah.
You guys follow?
Oh yeah, we'll go. As long as they're not
Okay.
making us like turn in our weapons or anything.
No, they
Oh,
asked for none of that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
this is good.
As you ascend the gangplank onto the cliffside, it's about a 20 by 30 foot, sort of like triangular, an odd quadrilateral sort of shape, into what appears to be a cavern. It's like a magma flow cavern, and you get the sense that these caverns, that this enormous like magma rock structure that flows off the island into the ocean must have numerous tunnels and caverns in it from magma flows. And so as you follow them, you realize that you're walking on this sort of like smoothed obsidian that was clearly once molten rock. And you walk through these enormous, sometimes 10, 15-foot tunnels that twist and move in odd sort of, not unnatural ways, because it's literally the most natural sort of formation, but ways that don't hold geometric sense other than molten liquid just pouring through this space. And there are offshoots. You can see that there's dining halls, potentially, bunk rooms, an armory, places where the Dancing Devils have begun to really set up a home here. And as you pass through this space, you quickly come to an overlook in a new space. As you come across this place, I will put you in the right spot here. Give me a moment. You're now on what is effectively a gangplank, but it's built into the cliffside, and you're skirting around the edge of the cliffside. And as you come around through the tunnels into this space, you quickly realize what's before you is a rock skull. And it looks like the gangplank passes through the rock skull into what can only be described as some sort of audience chamber beyond, because you are now at the base of what appears to be the ship built up into the cliffside. So you've ascended your way up to this space. I will reveal what this looks like in just a moment.
Just see a black screen, is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Hey.
correct.
Okay.
I wasn't the
I'm
only
hi-
one just spamming refresh. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hiding it from you for
Sorry.
just a moment. Because you're being led by a number of tieflings here, and I would just like to have them in place. So I will give you what this looks like here. And so you're walking along that gangplank towards the skull. Is there anything you guys would like to do on this walk?
Gulp.
Yeah, I'm gonna compliment them on how badass their pirate hideout is. Like, they got a giant stone skull, some sick pirate ships. Sir Venom is a little jealous.
Gotta keep your composure. Don't let them know we're impressed, because you know,
We have a pretty cool hideout. Riku will.
it's a cool hideout. It is a cool hideout, but I don't want them to know that I think they have a cool hideout. We just killed a Kraken. We're the cool ones. They should be gawking at us.
And I have a really cool hideout being built as well.
Yeah,
Back home for
Vincent's
us.
gonna have a treehouse.
Yeah, that.
Sure will.
You guys continue forward.
Yeah, it will fall 'em.
Okay.
Do we have any? I mean, should we be rolling? Do we have? Are you looking shifty?
Sorry, is anybody looking shifty?
Are they
Someone
like these
looking
people?
funny at me.
Yeah, these
Riku's
people.
keeping
Are
to
they?
himself.
I mean, yeah. Like,
No, it kind of looks
yeah.
like he's looking funny at me.
If you want to make either a perception or an insight check, like go, feel free. We can adjudicate it.
Try to perceive if someone's looking funny at me.
nah.
Axel, you actually get the sense that they're a bit relaxed. They're giving you maybe a wider berth than they would normally give. Like you don't feel like a prisoner based on the way that they're treating you. They're keeping an eye on you, but they're not. They don't seem overly scared. Riku, you see many different things as you pass through. You saw everything that I described, but you also noticed that there were no children. That caught your eye. It looks like this is probably one of the deeper spaces in the area, and that this cavern is more protected from the elements in a way that some of the other spaces were not at Highport. And that you see that there is a chest stashed up here as you pass
Oh.
by. But you continue to be led onwards through the cheekbone of what would be the skull as you pass under it.
Is
And
it
they
a?
lead you further and deeper in.
Is it like carved from rock, or is it like the skull of some giant beast?
Make a nature check, Sir Venom.
Nature. Ooh. 22.
Yeah. This is bone. You believe it's fossilized bone of some sort. Based on a 22, you really couldn't have done better. What you take away is, one, this is too big to be a giant. That leads you to one conclusion, that this is the skull of a titan. And it was most likely placed here unnaturally as some sort of, by some means.
Oh damn.
Titan.
So like when the
As you,
giants when the giants say giants, they're referring to titans.
that's exactly right. Yeah, titans, and I can give you with the 22, you know quite a bit actually. Let me just give you a little bit of a refresher on titans because you would know enough. Titans are typically gargantuan in size, whereas giants are huge in size. So they range from 10 to 20 feet tall. Titans are somewhere in the realm of 60 to 100 or more feet tall. Typically, they are representative of some sort of natural force. So if magic is, and this is in, you're an Arcana cleric, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll for this. You know this as an Arcana cleric based on your studies. Magic is typically broken into 3 or 4 different sources of power that fuel magic. And so it's divine, arcane, natural, or creative. And so a really good example of this is your magic comes from the divine, Riku's comes from the creative. Vincent's arrows are actually technically of the arcane nature. That is an arcane practice that he has. And so each of those pulls magic from a different source. Titans typically are related to individualized sources of magic. So you've heard of, for example, a Demogoth Titan, and that one in particular would be a nature magic related Titan. Now, you have no idea if this is a Demogoth Titan's skull in this instance, but it is a Titan skull, just based on the
Okay.
size.
I like nudge Axel as we walk through and be like, we should hunt one of these sometime. Get one of these skulls for our own place.
A Titan?
Yeah, that'd
What
be an
the
adventure.
I would not want to meet the owner of one of these while I was still breathing.
Oh, we could take it. We took down a fucking kraken.
Half of us were
Hey,
there to take it down.
Does sound like fun.
You are led deeper into this area, and as you are, you can see several different things. You see more tieflings, first and foremost. There are quite a few of them, just either lounging about, doing work, taking care of things, and you'll see some here. You notice that it looks like there's a grate here over another natural lava flow, and it looks like it curves into the hillside here of some sort, into the cavernous area. But you can see beyond that there is what appears to be the siding of a ship with some, I don't know, some stuff over here, stairs and everything. And so you're led further back into this cavern by the tieflings.
See some
As you do so, you can see some of these areas open up. Go ahead, Axel.
Oh, I was gonna say I see some treasure.
I see a sword and a stone.
The top, that's to the right. The top
Uh-huh.
right. There's
We pull it out.
there's a pile of gold.
Yeah, you do. As a matter of fact, you look to your right there and you can sort of glance through some of this space over some rock and everything, and you see quite the hoard of gold in that space. You do notice that it is part of the barred off area. It seems to be closed off on some level, but does seem to be where they hold probably their stolen goods.
Hmm.
Too bad these guys come back to life after you kill them.
Hmm.
They lead you further in. The door guard here, who nods at the tieflings as they approach, gives you a look over, sort of shrugs, and opens the door. As you are crossing the bridge, you can see somebody looking down at you. Several tieflings on what is effectively a ship built into the hillside here. It almost seems captured inside the lava flume magma rock. A woman, tiefling woman, gray blue skin, sharp eyes. She looks older, 60s maybe, but fit, tough looking, like she's seen many winters. There's a crew of tieflings lounging, pacing, moving about, working on the decking of this ship built into the lava rock. You can see doors on the side of the ship that lead inwards underneath into what was once the cargo hold. This must be the audience chamber of Larissa Snowmane.
I tip my pirate hat at them as we walk by the bridge. Show of pirate respect.
As you pass through the cavern, many more things catch your eye. You come out the other side, over here, and to your right, you see a set of stairs descending downwards towards what is very clearly an arcane circle of some sort.
Ooh, teleportation circle, perhaps?
Maybe. Take a year to make though.
Ooh, yeah. Press E on it.
And as you reach this space, the tieflings sort of gather around and point you towards the stairs, ensuring that you don't enter any of the other areas.
And
As we're walking up to the stairs, I put my my hand on Riku's shoulder, and I'd be like, "Raven Queen's blessing be with you while you negotiate our way out of this." And
I would
I'd
also
give him guidance.
Okay. I would also say, so now that you have guidance, you also have roughly 30 minutes of the telepathy spell left. So you are able to
Okay.
communicate for another 30 or so.
Okay.
Those of you with a passive perception of 12 or greater, you do look behind you as you begin to ascend the stairs, and you do see the other side of that room filled with treasure. We're talking, this must be where 100,000 gold is stored for the payment of whatever it is they would like.
Riku, approaches the bottom of the stairs. Says, "My lady, we've traveled far and heard a great deal about you. Sorry, our meeting couldn't be on, better terms. It seems like we got off on the wrong foot. But may I?" He gestures towards his friends. May I introduce my companions here?
You may approach, the woman says.
Riku kind of steps aside and gestures to the stairs for the boys to come by and introduce themselves one by one as we make our way up to this lady.
Okay, greetings, Lady Snowmane. I'm Sir Venom, cleric of the Raven Queen and aspiring pirate captain. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I give as fancy a bow as I can.
Just are you wearing your pirate's hat?
Yes.
Go ahead and just give me a dexterity saving throw.
Am I wearing my pirate's hat?
Unpracticed.
Oh, maybe not
Unpracticed in the fashion. As you bow, the hat does begin to slip off and it falls to the ground. You sort of quickly pick it up and put it back over your horns.
Ooh. I'd have my parrot, who's also wearing a pirate hat, fly down, pick it up for me, and put it back on my head.
Gotcha. He does so.
Apologies, I didn't have time to find a tailor who could work this hat around my horns, which are quite girthy, if you could notice.
They all just silently eye you with cold stares on their faces.
Oh my goodness.
She herself, Larissa Snowmane herself, actually has one booted leg, and she's got pretty. It's not fancy clothes, but it's very nicely tailored clothing. She has one booted leg up on the table itself, sort of leaning onto it, staring at you coldly. Dagger, fiddling with a dagger on the table, map splayed out in front of her of the Sword Coast. She says, "If you would like, you may sit. Who are the other friends?"
Riku, come boys, let us join.
Riku, you gotta play something cool when we walk up.
Riku rolls his eyes. If you must. My friend here requested a song, and then he plays an upbeat, quick song. He's gonna walk up, kind of, giving Axel the business
Vincent
here.
would cartwheel up the stairs like a ninja and
Make an acrobatics
backflip and backflip into the seat.
Then once he does that, Riku does a rock star slide on his knees behind him.
Make a performance check. Oh, that's a pretty good acrobatics check, actually. Okay, not gonna lie. Sir Venom's entrance, not very cool. Vincent's entrance, followed by Riku's, was actually pretty good. And you see that there's the tieflings look slightly disarmed at this. They don't look shocked necessarily. They kind of are like, "What are you doing? This is not the sort of time and place for this." One of them goes to begin to clap, but he stops the guy in the back here. He stops immediately. He goes, "Oh, sorry."
I feel like we're Ginyu forcing these guys right now.
That he saw.
Anyone who's seen DBZ should be familiar with the Ginyu Force.
Yeah, we need a Ginyu Force pose.
Yeah, everyone back to back shoulder. All right. Anywho, Riku's like, all right, enough festivities. Back to business. Puts away instrument. Gestures towards sword, then looks back at Larissa and says, "So, as I said before, we may have got on the wrong foot, but let's be frank. The first foot was placed by you, and it was aimed directly up our asses." He gestures to the boys. And we don't like foots going up our asses, as I'm sure you don't like feet going up your ass. Now, because of this, that kind of spurred us into the position we find ourselves in today. And he's like, "Look, blood's been spilled, both sides. we don't like to do this sort of business, ugly business, really. Yeah, we like to avoid ugly business. We see things are profitable here, and we've heard tale of your reasoning behind what you do, and it's funny because we found ourselves in similar situations, but we didn't have to sell our souls to the devil to escape our prison, if you will. He'll kind of squint and look at her, and then he like realizes his skin is red, and he's like, "Oh, um, this is unrelated." He says, "It's something I got from my parents." Kind of looks down, then looks back up. He's like, "That's another matter." Anyway, back to this. So we've come here to resolve our current issues here, and we were sort of hoping to hear what your take is on the whole situation. We want to make sure that the info we've been given is correct and everything lines up before we proceed here. What say you, Miss Snowmane?
She continues to look at you with a cold stare the entirety of this time. The tieflings around her, arms crossed, sort of fidgeting slightly as you talk. Taut smile finally coming across her face. Well, bygones will be bygones, I guess, she says, her voice laced with anger. And then you see, go ahead and make an insight check.
We're going to incite her. Oh, not very good though.
Don't forget your
Um,
guidance.
Plus
Oh.
guidance.
If you
So,
wish, you can use it
D4?
on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Something.
You can see that something's troubling her, ever so slightly. And she continues and says, "What you did to my crew in Waterdeep, what occurred off of Treasure Island, I guess you could put that as you put your foot up my ass. And frankly, it does hurt quite a bit. It's hurt our ability to take care of business on our own. Clearly, it's not hurt any of us, as you can see each of the tieflings, each of the dancing devils that are around you here, well, they've all died by your blades before." And they all sort of nod. You can sense the tension in the air.
Yeah, Riku kind of like puts his hand on his hip, like, like sort of like hand over the holster, if you will. He's like, "Look, I did not wish to do what I did, but I'm not going to say I'm sorry. Given the circumstances, my city was under attack. If you were in my situation, you would have done the same." Riku looks sternly back at her.
And she takes the dagger that she'd been playing with on the table, digging into the table with, and she sort of sheaths it and she says, "Indeed, in fact, I was doing the same. The only reason I hit your city was to help those around me." And you can see some of the tension eased as the dagger is put away.
Yes.
She herself takes her leg off the table and sits down, boots up on the table in a more relaxed position. You can see that the individuals standing are slightly more at ease at this moment. And she says, "And I would do anything for them, again and again and again. You say that you know why we do what we do. Do you know where we are from?"
Your crew said a few things. We were fairly certain they were speaking the truth, but we wanted to hear it from you first. They say
Indeed.
you come from another world, and
It's all dark on.
to have gained your
Ravenna
freedom,
whispered to Riku.
you did a small little deal with the devil, and that's why you all appear like this. And then he looks up like me and smiles. He's like, "Except I didn't make the deal. Someone made a deal that I inherited." He then smiles again.
Make a persuasion
Unfortunately,
check.
persuasion.
He sort of arches an eyebrow at your words and says, "Interesting. I mean, there's no issue with being a tiefling. That's not our problem necessarily. It's simply a physical incarnation of the curse laid upon ourselves.
I was gonna say it's this other issue, this ship that you guys are all bound to. That's the problem, Riku says.
It is. I think you've hit the crux of the problem at its center. We
Mhm.
are bound to the sea ghost, and it to us, to never die, and to look this way, to be the dancing devils upon the waves, at Asmodeus's pleasure.
And
We
this
come
this lady you've met up with who has promised to free you. You know, me and the lads here, we have business with her as well. She's been meddling with our affairs. We wish to see an end to it, frankly, and perhaps to her. And I suspect whatever deal she's made with you is false. She's merely using you to get her own agenda pushed, whatever that is. And I think it would be in both of our best interests if we perhaps teamed up,
make
maybe
a
get to the bottom of what's happening here. And with our forces combined, I think we can put this bitch in her place and free you guys at the same time.
make a persuasion check at disadvantage. Okay, that's much better than I expected. You could see her face fall as you begin to talk about who you know to be Natasha.
Yes.
And as you're saying this, you can see a sort of dark scowl cover her face, and she goes, "You say you know the sort of hell that we come from. You can't have known Darkon. Were you trapped there? If so, you would know that, well, maybe you don't know anything about Natasha. Maybe you don't know anything about us. But what I will say is, I am intrigued that you think that she's tricking us. I will hear you out on this. But if you have any real proof, unless you have any real proof, I would be very careful with your words."
We broke free of the same world she's from. We destroyed it, in fact.
As you
says.
say that, they look very surprised. Barovia?
That's right. That's why. And Riku, pulls in his pocket and flips a Strahd coin at her, and then says, "Yeah, you didn't have to do what you did. You could have broke free too. It wasn't that hard." Riku smiles.
As you do that, she looks shocked, and she looks around at the others. How did you leave?
On her own accord.
To take down the mortal vampire lord and
Are you not
destroy
familiar
the
with
evil...
the methods?
They kind of look at each other, and you see Larissa searching for the words momentarily. To which she says, an immortal vampire lord, did you kill him?
Indeed.
They're not that immortal when you stick one of these in him. Riku, finally shows the sword in its full glory.
As you do so, you can see this tiefling to your left. Hold up. I thought it was a half-elf with you lot who held that.
Riku smiles. He's like, "That's me. Currently not half elf, but perhaps in the future, I'll be back. We'll see."
She looks back over at Larissa Snowmane. You can see that there's some sort of glance between the two of them. Sorry, so you stuck the sword into the vampire, and then what?
Riku makes like a dead face and like tilts his head to the side. Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then we destroyed this big obelisk, and that did the trick.
And you can see them looking between one another. Indeed. Indeed. Well, Darkon's a little different in some ways. We had a lord, just like in Barovia, but I would call it a
Riku
fractured
sort of
realm.
interrupts and is like, "So I've heard." And then he smiles back at her and he's like, "We didn't do all that alone, I might add."
Indeed?
We've heard of where you're from as well.
How do you know where I'm from?
One of our companions, he was from there.
What was his name?
I think you know. You and him go way back. Riku smiles.
Riku. Yeah, like telepathically. So we're gonna be like, what are you doing, buddy? We were like
Make
specifically
a-
told not to mention him.
Make an intimidation check, Riku.
I had to tell her about him from day one. Like, we can't hide.
Let me make an opposed check to that. Give me a moment here. Okay.
You just like made some random shit up.
You can see surprise on her face, and then she goes,
I'm a do-gooder now.
"No, he couldn't have gotten out. He wouldn't.
He
He
holds
wouldn't
his,
have sold his soul."
He holds his hand up and shows 2 fingers. He goes twice.
What name did he go by?
Riku looks to
Tread
the
carefully,
lads.
Riku.
He shrugs and just smiles and he's like, "Does it matter?"
And as you're pausing, she's watching you all. Say his name, damn it! And slaps her hand down on the table.
Rictavio?
She looks thunderstruck. How do you? No, that can't. That was my pet name for him.
Venom just lowers his face into his palm and shakes his head.
What was his other name he went by? I forget.
And she goes,
Rudolph Van Richten.
Yeah, Van Richten. There it is.
and you can see that all the other tieflings are pretty floored by this as well. How did? So he got out of Darkon, and you say you had his help in Barovia?
Yeah, we wouldn't get out if it wasn't for him.
Indeed.
He wasn't the only person we freed.
No.
Nope. And then Riku fills her in on our lady friend. I forget her name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Irina, yeah.
Oh. She looks rather stunned. I mean, in some ways, this all makes sense. It matches some of what I know from hearing the tales of Natasha.
Yeah.
And you see her sadly shake her head. Just because Rudolph Van Richten, was able to escape, does not mean that we could have done so collectively so easily.
I understand,
Darkon-
but the fact is that it's happened twice, and we've done it before. What's to stop us from doing it again? We can figure this out, Riku says. And then he like holds his hand out. He's like, together.
She looks at it and she says, sorry, as you lean over, what are you wearing right now?
I'd say like his fancier armor set. Like it's light armor, but it's like very fancy looking.
Mm-hmm. And is your locket showing at all?
I mean, it's probably like tucked in for the most part, but yeah, it's usually tucked in. I don't think I keep it like tucked out.
Okay. As you lean over the hand, she looks at you. I won't agree to anything at this time. I would still like to hear why you think Natasha plans on either betraying us or why you believe she's lying to us. But I can't.
She did summon a couple of demons in our bar and killed a couple of people.
Yeah, Riku's like, if you want to hear the backstory why we don't like her, we can get into that too. Sure.
Please be my guest.
Riku's relays backstory.
And what do you specifically say? Do you say that she summoned demons into shenanigans?
Yeah,
and-
that we have a business, and I tell her about all the different things that we suspect her of doing, and that we not only did we suspect her, but she confirmed it, and then paid us off to try to make things okay, so that we stop meddling. Trying to like seek her out, basically, for whatever she's done to us.
He used like soul coins to summon evil demons.
And essentially like all the bad things that have happened to us, like since we've been back from Barovia, has been because of her.
Sorry,
And
so
her son stole our friend's monkey. Savannah would yell out.
Yeah, it's what a bitch, right?
Axel, if you would like, you can get a free rage.
Ask her how much the so what I'm thinking is if you ask her how much Natasha told her it would cost, and then does she keep like I feel like she keeps adding to that cost, right? Like they're like, oh, it's gonna cost like 100,000, and then they get their 100,000, and she's like, oh, actually, it's gonna cost 400,000, and they get their 400,000. Like, oh, actually, it's gonna cost 1,000,000 now, and then it's like that number's just gonna keep going up. She's never gonna do it. She's gonna milk them.
Yeah, what has she told you she could do for you exactly? I'm curious.
Well, you really don't know more about Natasha?
Uh, she made a deal as well to escape. That's about as much as we know, and that she's insanely wealthy. That's why it's curious why she wants more.
Those two things are true. She did sort of make a deal to escape, though she refuses to tell me the details. All I know is that she used her magic and some sort of infernal, maybe abyssal, demonic, devilish power to leave Barovia. But I do not believe that she made the same sort of deal we did. In fact, I think she's far too clever for such a thing. That is not something I pride myself on. That said, I do think that she is a truly accomplished wizard so far as I have seen, and I do trust her to go forward with this. She has promised us two things. Or sorry, she has promised us one thing which we believe will lead to another. One, she has promised us our original bodies back. And she sort of holds her hands out, pointing to her comrades around the table who look at her hopefully, as you see, as she's saying this. It's her promise that she believes that we can return to our original forms. You see, many of us were humans, elves, half-elves, dwarves, halflings. We were not originally tieflings. And that in lieu of this return to our original form, we will receive our souls once more. That the two are inexorably linked at the moment somehow. And that we will become unlinked from the sea ghost. Now, we wish for this because we know of the crimes that we committed, both in terms of survival, for when we first arrived here on the Sword Coast, stealing, raiding, pillaging as pirates do, just to get by, but also because if we return to our bodies, nobody will know us as the Dancing Devils one more, and we can rejoin society. We lost our freedom in Darkon. It was a fractured realm of magical ruins with an ongoing supernatural catastrophe. The black obelisk you speak of.
Yes.
Well, the only way that I can describe it is that there was a lich by the name of Aslan Rex who was king, who ruled a land between two oceans, and that at the time of his disappearance, and during this disappearance there was an explosion at his keep, what we referred to as the Tear hung in the sky. It was effectively a black obelisk, similar to what you speak of. The land was shrouded in mist. No one could leave. Not myself or Ricky. And you see her turning kind of wistfully as she's saying this. Until we banded together and called on the infernal powers to trade our souls for a better life in the here and now. It was only then that we realized that maybe we were trading one hell for another. But we escaped. And frankly, I would do it again to get the chance to pay someone like Tasha 1,000,000 gold, which is what she asked for up front the first time, and what we have prepared for her.
I don't understand why someone with so much wealth would just want more.
I asked her that myself, because she is clearly a wealthy woman. I've seen her teleport about, I've seen the clothes she wears and her son Ayuz, her husband Remeros. I've seen, well, as she teleported one time, I saw a magnificent castle, I believe to be of some other land that must have been her own by the looks of it. Enormous amounts of wealth to create or to buy such a thing. But I received a satisfactory answer, and it was simple.
So
If she can learn how to undo this, she can learn how to undo other things, and she may use it to undo other places shrouded in mist.
So, what you think you need to free yourself is to change back to your original form, yes? Riku says.
We think they're all really one and the same, that the tethering to the sea ghost is what caused us to become tieflings, and that becoming tieflings caused us to lose our souls. It's all the same exchange. And so we just wish to have it untethered and undone.
Riku holds out his necklace and says, "Try the song."
As you pull off the necklace and hold it out, make an insight check.
Insight check. Niner.
All you see is a look of pure shock on her face. Where did you get that?
Riku kind of like hesitates and he's like, "It was a gift. Someone very dear to me."
And she looks around at all the other tieflings. What was her name?
Azriel.
And she sits down in the chair. Who was she to you?
She was my mother.
She just kind of looks stunned. Azriel was my daughter.
Huh?
Grandma.
And that makes you Grammy. Is this the part where we take our break while we absorb
Sure.
this info?
Sure, we can take a break.
This is
We'll take our
turning-
break
Does
here.
that mean Rudolph's your daddy?
Oh
Or your
my god.
granddad?
Oh shit!
This is a very special episode.
So she looks at you as she holds the locket and she says, where is your mother? Where is Azriel?
Oh, I'm not sure. She was banished from my father when I was young, and I was too young to go with her, and not strong enough to to try to follow her. And at the time, I'll be honest, I didn't know she was my mother. That was also kept hidden from me until after she had been banished. But she taught me how to play this. Riku shows her the lute. She was my music teacher. She was also my mother.
And you can see that there are tears in Larissa Snowman's eyes. And she wipes them away and she says she was a talented and wonderful musician. And clearly she's imparted that gift to you. I'm surprised and shocked that she's also imparted our curse onto you. Though she looks at the locket and she's confused and says, she must have found someone to make this for her. She puts it on and it has no effect at the moment.
Dang.
Though I know not what it does.
Riku speaks up and says, "It used to keep me in my half elf form."
And she looks
But,
again at you sharply and says, that makes sense because that's what I am, and that's what Azriel was as well.
Yes.
If you haven't already figured it out, she was Van Richten's daughter. He does not know, and she looks at all of you.
Shit.
I fled Darkon with the dancing devils here, not knowing myself that I was pregnant, and therefore not knowing that I was imparting a curse onto another. This was 35 years ago now.
Riku's kind of like scratching his head now. He's like, "God damn, it's a family affair, and I didn't realize it."
You're sort of nodding.
There's no way he knew either. Riku scratches his head, like thinking back, like in their conversations.
Yeah, you
And the
don't
plot
think so.
thickens.
Yeah, Axel's just confused as fuck. He's just like,
Yeah, and Vincent doesn't
what
do.
am I listening to?
She's looking at you and says, "Well, it sounds like she was in Neverwinter at one point in time. She met a man. She was able to get something that made her look like a half-elf. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Or did she always look like a tiefling?"
No, she appeared half elf to me.
Indeed. And then you took this locket, and you've always appeared as a half-elf as well.
Yeah, she left it in my care when she left the city.
Hmm.
It's the only thing
Indeed.
she left me.
And when she left us, she took nothing but her lute, short sword, a little bit of coin that we had, and she took a ship from Saltmarsh towards the Sword Coast, telling me she was going to find her own damn way to undo this curse. I really don't know much more than that.
Riku looks surprised and he's like, and she hasn't come back here?
No, she's not
Like
come
it's-
back here once.
So like she what she's saying is she has the same curse that like if she died she'd come back here? Or is that
Uh,
or-
That is correct.
Okay.
If she perishes, she is tethered to the sea ghost and should arrive once more. That means that she has so far kept herself from death.
Huh. Riku looks surprised. This is the first time he's got confirmation, like concrete, that she's alive, but not in a very good state. Apparently, she's cursed. But that Riku looks surprised. He's like, I don't think that this curse is fully bound to me. He's like, I didn't come back to the ship when I died. He's like, funny enough, I died recently. Riku laughs.
Well, that is both heartening and disheartening to hear. I mean, rather, I don't really know how to parse it, frankly, because the curse is an affliction. We cannot age, we cannot die. I myself am somewhere in the realm of 150 years old. Your mother, being born with the curse, she's one of the few who has ever aged. It's why you see no real children with us. We cannot procreate, we cannot bring new life into this world.
Well,
I'm surprised that she was able to even bring you into this world, but
yeah,
clearly
she found a
it's
way.
some in between.
He's like, I'm alive, aren't I?
As far as you know, you are very much alive. And you know that both because you've lived a life and because you have technically died now.
Well, I suppose this might change things now, and maybe you'll think twice about joining us. Riku's, leans in.
And she puts forth her hand and says, I will continue to do what I must to save the souls of those around us, to return them to their original forms, and to undo the curse of being tethered to the sea ghost, so that they may live their own lives in the ways that they wish. I will also do what I can to assist you in whatever quests you have.
Wonderful. So, for the moment, can we maybe not raid the Sword Coast? Riku kind of like taps his two fingers together.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Yeah. 29 will do it. She begins to laugh. She says, that's easy. We have no longer any need of gold. We see 1,000,000 of it down there, and she sort of points down toward the grated area there with the chests and the gold behind it. Tasha could come and take it if she wished. She's a powerful wizard, but she's been good enough not to. The Chardalon, however, is another problem. We need a little bit more than we thought we needed, and, well, the other issue is that somebody has stolen it.
Stolen?
Indeed.
Stolen the stolen goods?
That is correct. The
Say it ain't
Chardalon,
so.
the Chardalon, the crystals of arcane power, were within our treasury as well, and yet that itself has gone missing. Natasha feigns ignorance on that, and I've come to
Ah.
believe her. I don't think that she has taken the Chardalon that she's promised to use for our ritual.
It was
But
her. She wishes to keep you in service longer.
Oh.
I know not why. It makes no sense, especially
think she
knowing her
does make
background.
sense. I don't even know why, like, I don't even think we should question, like, her motives at this point. Like, she just does things just because, for our purposes. Like, she's just careless, and, she has you where she wants you, and she wants to keep you there, evidently.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, yeah, he's gaslighting.
18. Decent. I mean, maybe, but she's not asked us to get any more gold. It's not gold that we need for this ritual at this point. It's the Chardalon itself,
Hmm.
Yeah.
along with the gold. The gold is payment, but the Chardalon, I mean, that's the key for the ritual to move forward.
Sure, she's got
And
other rituals lined up as well.
she sort of nods. Most likely, but I trust her. She understands the hell that was Barovia, and therefore she understands the hell that was Darkon. There's so few in this world that can empathize with that. Sounds like it besides yourselves. And maybe you'll come to see her in the way that I do. As someone who has escaped her own hell and is simply trying to make her own place in the same Faerun that we all know.
So, I think you need to see what this lady's been up to. It's we'll show you what she's really all about, and you'll come to agree with us that she's not the right sort of folk.
I'm happy to see any and all evidence that you have on her. And frankly, if she's looking to trick us, I would rather know it sooner rather than later.
She's been entering our dreams and fucking with us every night. She's trying to ruin our business. And like we don't know what her deal is. And now she's got you guys on the string. This lady can't be trusted. She's up to nefarious things.
She
I
looks
wouldn't
a
be
bit.
surprised if she's the one who has my mom, Riku says.
She looks a bit troubled at all this, and she says, "Well, I mean, the entering of dreams is troubling indeed, but has she hurt you in any of them? Any of you?"
She tried to have us killed at our house at the opening night of her business.
And did you not describe it as her son was the one sent forward with the gift and the apology because he was the one who planted the coin?
That's true.
Is she directly implicated in any of the actions of harming you or your business?
She was with them, and she should be able to control her own. So by extension, yes.
How old is her son?
I don't know.
Make a
I feel like
history
he was
check.
5. What was that?
Make a history check.
History.
You would put his age somewhere around yours. He is no longer he's beyond his teenage years. He might even be out of adolescence, so somewhere above the age of 25, if you had to guess.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe you have concrete evidence of any ill will from her towards you outside of the fact that she has a misbehaving brat on her hands, by the sound of it. We've met Ayuz. He seemed an arrogant and brash little bastard, and I understand ill sentiment towards him. He just doesn't seem amazing. But she has been only helpful. She has laid out the details of the ritual, must occur, why it must occur, and frankly, she has been incredibly empathetic of our situation and shared that she herself has left a shrouded realm in the same ways that we did.
Is it not? Have you ever considered why she hasn't done said ritual for herself?
She's
just
not.
okay with being afflicted?
She herself is not afflicted, is my understanding.
Oh, she's just naturally a tiefling.
Hmm.
Natasha is not a tiefling. Natasha is a human.
Well,
Yeah.
then why wouldn't she? If she has the power to turn herself back, why wouldn't she do it already? You know, she says
I-
she can do it to you, but why wouldn't she do it to herself already?
As I said, Natasha told me that she escaped Barovia using infernal and abyssal means, but did not make a deal with any devil.
Hmm.
She's made some sort of deal, obviously.
So she sort of shrugs and she says, "She seems a powerful wizard to me. I believe her insofar as this."
Well,
Well,
I am
suppose
not as
only time will
forthcoming to
tell.
people who enter my dreams.
Did
In
she fight her way out like we did?
telepathy format, we know
Let's hear
where there's a bunch of Chardalon, but we just don't know how to get it out without breaking it. Remember when we fought that, what was
Yeah,
that?
that,
We
like,
went to that
portal.
mine and there was like a bunch of Chardalon where there's even a teleportation circle there that we could just like take these people to.
Yeah, the
Where,
portal to like Greyhawk or something where we fought the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Um, hmm.
I'd pull the broken piece of Chardalon out of my pocket and be like, we found a bunch of this, but it didn't have its like arcane power anymore. Would this work for you, or do you need like fully charged Chardalon?
Ideally, we need fully charged Chardalon, but my understanding is that if we have double the amount that we need, we might be okay. And so, whether or not the Chardalon is done or dulled, it's still acceptable.
Okay.
I don't think we found a bunch of that stuff. I think we just found like a couple pillars used for like a
I mean,
portal.
pillars sound like a lot. I don't know. I mean, it depends how much they
Oh,
need.
They were pretty
Pillars?
big pillars.
And she looks at you like shocked. I mean, how big were these pillars? Like, what are we talking?
I'd
Riku
I'd, I'd
uses
minor
his
minor illusion a copy of one of the pillars to show
And
its
as you
size.
you do so, and there's this like sort of massive like Chardalon pillar here, and everyone steps back. And they're like, "That's far more than we would need. That's perfect."
Oh yeah, we can get that to you, no problem. Do you have a teleportation circle here, local?
We do. And she sort of points down at the arcane circle that you saw down here. You
Nice.
can use that one. If you know with sigil, I'm quite impressed that you're able to use such magic. Natasha
Oh,
uses
that's
it to
nothing.
travel from wherever she comes. Though sometimes she did tell us she supposedly has explored the jail up at Seaton, the old ruins of the jail. So we think that she's up there currently.
Really?
Really?
Maybe we
Yes.
should go pay her a visit first.
Oh, really?
Please, whatever you do, don't kill her, don't hurt her. I do think that we need her, and I'm not entirely convinced. She might not be good, but I really don't believe that she's bad. And I do think she wants to help us.
You do bring up a good point. All the fuckery has been her son. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah, maybe
So-
her kid's just a twit.
So maybe we do give her a little bit more of a, different approach than assuming, the worst. But at the very least, she's been going in our dreams, and that's not cool. We don't like that, Riku says.
She's a dream abuser.
And
Venom
we've
would,
been
like-
very vocal that we don't like that, and she doesn't care.
And
She's a
Larissa,
mean woman.
she holds up her
Venom, like
hands.
telepathically say like, yeah, just invading people's minds is bullshit. As he puts that sentence directly into the minds of his boys.
Larissa Snowmane holds up her hands. Look, I agree. Maybe she needs better communication skills. I understand that. That is probably a fair take.
Invasive.
And I'm willing to deal with devils. Clearly, she sort of points around.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would rather deal with humans, and they're a little easier to read. And if they're going to fuck me, well, then I can at least kill them. She says.
Easy, Grandma.
He begins to sort of yell, no more fucking around. I'm so sick of all this. We are sick of this. We just want to live normal lives. I would like to find my daughter. I would like to find Rudolph Van Richten, by the sound of it, though I'm shocked he's here.
Always alive and well.
That's...
Venom just kind of like looks down and kicks his feet, and he's like, "Tieflings aren't that bad."
No, tieflings are not bad. That's not the issue. The issue is that we can't die, and that we can't live real lives, and we can't have children, and we can't be who we were. That's the problem.
Not yet. And not with an attitude like that, Riku says.
Dang. Can you at least taste food?
We can. We can enjoy certain things in life, though many things are locked away behind what our old bodies once held.
Well, I'm under the impression that, you know, if we really combine forces, we could figure this out. At the very least, we can get to the bottom of this other lady's good news or bad news. I still don't trust her, but I'm willing to try.
I'm not asking you to trust her, Riku. I'm asking you to trust me. And if you can get us Chardalon from wherever it is you want, and I wouldn't say no to you investigating Natasha. If you can maybe give yourselves a little peace of mind for us to go through with this ritual, those are the only two things I would ever ask of you.
All right.
Maybe we
I think this was a
collect
good.
all the Chardalon while we like plan how best to approach Natasha.
Well, I think we need to discuss this privately. He looks to his comrades. But for now, I think we're in agreement on we're at least allied. We're family after all, and we seem to have the same goals. It's just we got to make sure we're on the same page on how we're gonna reach those goals.
So Venom is totally fine with teaming up with Grandma Riku.
Yeah. But as we said, we might be able to get you what you need. So, maybe we scratch your back, you scratch ours.
Then it's a deal. We will stop attacking the Sword Coast. And in fact, we would frankly like to join the Sword Coast. Just as citizens, as normal folk, as who we once were in Darkon before Aslan Rex destroyed it.
Riku says, so let me get this straight. In order to complete the ritual, you need the magic crystals. But he points at all the pile of gold and he's like, so that's what's her face, that's her price to cast the ritual.
Indeed, it is.
Wow.
Ask her
about his ritual.
Ask her about that. I have an idea, Riku.
Hear it, Axel.
Speaking in minds, we know that group that's looking to claim some land. They want to squat some land, and that Treasure Island place she was talking about looks pretty good. We should find out more about Treasure Island. Maybe they can work with the Union people, and they can work to build that place up into a port for. It's like a protection fort for the.
Yeah, once we get you guys your bodies back and your souls back, you can live there, and we're gonna turn it into a nice resort. You guys can manage it.
He sort of laughs. Treasure Island is, frankly, it's a desolate place in the middle of nowhere in the Sea of Swords between here and the Sword Coast.
Think about it like this, Granny. You can continue raiding from that island, but you can do it legally, just from the resort.
No. We don't want to be pirates anymore. We just want to be citizens of Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate.
What are you gonna do with your ships?
You could become Waterdeep's navy. I don't think they have one of those.
They just want their lives back. Did you not just hear?
Okay. Anyway, let's get that Chardalon.
We'll take over the pirating.
Let's have your little family.
Family.
Apparently, Riku, you've quite the family, Riku.
Yeah, apparently.
It's awkward to think that we were considering you should seduce her just a few days ago.
What? Riku laughs.
That was one of the
Say-
plans. You were gonna put
No.
the moves on Miss Larissa, and turns out she's like your grandmother
No.
or something. Kind of weird. And you were willing to go along with it.
Yeah,
No.
you wanted to bang your grandma.
We were like,
Riku.
absolutely, guys.
I'm an honorable man.
All right,
Slash
go.
tiefling.
You guys should go learn that circle so we can get that fast travel, and then we can go
Oh,
and
yeah.
scoop some of that
Hey, I'm gonna go touch your
magic.
circle, Grandma.
We can go
Hey,
some
come
of
on, Riku. Let's go look at the circle.
Excuse me.
You guys do so. It takes it actually takes you quite a bit of hour. Like I think it's like an hour of study to learn it. I want to say, and as you do
Okay.
so, okay, it's not an issue to learn that. Is there anything else you would like to do in this space while waiting for them to learn the circle?
I would ask Larissa Snowman if she comes here often.
I live here, dear.
Ah,
I
but
telepathically tell Axel to ask her about that sword in the stone. Is that just decoration? What's going on with
oh,
that sword?
is there a sword? Where is Oh,
Giant Excalibur sword in the
yeah.
stone over there?
Okay, yeah. What's
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a big sword in a stone.
Oh,
In the water over there. What's up?
oh, that one of our members was simply practicing meld stone, and they were melding the stone so that they could pull the sword in and out. That's nothing more.
It's not some kind of treasure.
I mean, it's a long sword. If you'd like it, you can have it if you think it's useful.
Nah, I'm
He
good.
would say telepathically, it's a lie.
What? Huh?
It's something cool.
It's something cool. I mean, did it look that cool?
I mean, not really. It looks like a slightly embellished longsword.
Yeah. Look, we just gotta, go to this place.
Ooh, ask her
the
if they
stuff.
have any potions of healing to spare.
Oh, random thought. Do you have any potions of healing to spare?
I believe we may be able. I mean, we don't really grab too many of those because if we die, we just come back.
Right.
I think we might have a few, and she actually goes over to a crate over here. Yes, and she brings 2 potions forward and places them across the table, rolls them across the table to you.
Nice. Do you have any spare diamonds?
Spare diamonds. That's a little bit of more of an ask on our
Since you
coffers.
You know.
Let me see. And she walks over to this guy, and you can hear her saying, find any, why, what are they needed for, and how much?
It's like funny. The moment I leave the room, you guys just start asking for gifts.
Well, she's got some making up to do. Think of all the Christmases and birthdays that she missed.
Look, yeah, if we're gonna
Tell
do,
her we need it for because we can die just because they can't die. And I gotta bring our boys back to life.
I'm gonna be straight with it, Miss Snowman. Your grandson tends to die sometimes, and we need those diamonds so we can bring him back to life if he dies. He's quite reckless.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And she turns to the guard, and and she goes, find me some fucking diamonds.
Yeah.
And he begins to go down. He comes back
Doesn't have
after.
to be huge diamonds. They can be small diamonds.
Comes back. He comes back after about 20 minutes, and in his hand you see 2 small diamonds, probably worth about 500 gold in total.
Okay. Nice.
And she says, as you will.
Yeah. Got any other cool stuff?
Never hurts to ask.
Not really. I mean,
geez.
most of everything we have at this point really just needs to go towards paying Natasha,
Right.
or the ritual itself. Frankly, we've put everything we have into this.
I did see you have a fat stack of gold. You should really keep that safe. You never know who's gonna walk into your hideout. Just, want to take it.
That's fair. I do worry about it some days, but There's not much more we can do besides this.
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to you. I'm gonna go now.
Please take care. You're welcome to stay in the harbor on your ship. We don't really have room in the caverns, but if you would like to speak to Natasha, my suggestion would be to go to Seaton. We don't know if she's there, but we know that she sometimes visits the old jail ruins. Although, by the sound of it, maybe she'll visit your dreams, so who knows? And
Oh.
you're welcome to use the circle as needed. You can come and go and teleport from this place.
Awesome. Oh, last question. So we're gonna be teleporting around, zipping around. Is it cool if our ship just kind of like hangs out at your port?
That's absolutely fine. We
Nice.
will ensure its safety for now.
Cool. All right. Well, take it easy. We're just gonna wait at the bottom of the steps, waiting for our friends to come back from studying the circle.
And she comes down and gives you a hug, Riku. Be safe, my boy. It's good to know that something came of Azrael leaving.
Yes, I'm quite something indeed. To strike a pose.
She sort of laughs and says, good lad, good lad. And you can see that there is quite a bit of age to her as she walks back up the stairs gingerly, and you all take your leave. Is that right, or is there anything else you'd like to do here?
Good. Go head back to the boat. Say hi,
All right.
lads.
Yeah, hook Sir Venom up with those 2 small diamonds, worth 500 each or 500 total.
500 total. So I'm
500
not sure how
total.
much he has on himself, but
Yeah,
Yeah, so we have 4 total now.
and
Those are
2 small ones and
lifesavers.
2 slightly
let's
smaller ones.
do a quick potion. What's a kind of potions? How many potions healing you guys got?
Let's see.
I have
I have one potion of healing greater and 3 potion of healing minor.
So just regular. Oh, that's potion. That's regular.
Like the regular healing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have 3 of the 2d4s and 1 of the 4d4s.
What you got, Riku?
we got 2 the little guys and 1 greater.
Okay, okay. Vincent,
1 greater.
1 greater. I think we have. Oh yeah, we got 1 in the bag of holding, or not bag of holding, the portable hole that we got from the Dragon Horde. So yeah, you can use that in case you need a quick pick me up.
as you arrive back at the ship and as you're discussing this and handing out potions, you arrive back at the ship and Captain Davison goes, well, where are we off to and how'd your conversation go? It's good to see her alive.
Yeah. Well, so
That was my Grammy. Riku smiles.
Geez, don't gotta give her like the full.
Hot
You
damn.
know. So gonna Lord dump the poor guy.
Yeah.
We are headed to a place to collect some magical stuff. You guys are gonna hang out here. At this fine port. You're safe here. So they're not gonna like you're not gonna get like attacked or anything. We're all cool. Everything's fine. Yeah. Turns out that lady who runs this place is Riku's grandmother. I still don't understand how all that works.
Riku looks at you guys like while we're back on the ship, explaining things like, "Yeah, we might as well just send these guys home."
Yeah, I think. I think let's wait.
And not be too hasty on that front.
Yeah, wait. We won't have to wait here long. We'll know within like the next 10 days. You might have to hang out here for like a 10-day maybe, while we figure out exactly what our next moves are gonna be. But we can like just zip around the old map, as they say, for the next bit. So yeah.
Okay. Happy to wait here for a 10-day. If you're not back in, let's say 10 days, we'll go back to Waterdeep. Does that work?
That works. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can call you.
Yeah, but don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah, very
I
important.
I
We're
can't call
busy.
anyone, but okay.
Yeah, we're busy. We
Okay.
just keep saying that.
And he sort of looks at you funny, like, "All right, sounds excellent.
The Grieger's over being a pirate already.
The lads and I will be on shore leave then." And he sort of salutes and
Yeah.
he walks out.
All right. Let's do the thing.
So where do you guys? What do you guys want to do? Where do you want to go?
I think we want to get Chardalon from the place where we fought that Sphinx and like that little this was like a mine or something.
Yeah.
But it was also the guy warned us when we were there that taking that shit would be very dangerous.
To who? Us or the place? Or just in
I'm pretty
general?
sure
General danger?
Someone like asked the guy before we teleported back about it or something, or either that or we rolled to determine if it would be dangerous, and we found out it would be dangerous to try to remove it,
Is that
and
confirmed?
that it
or
would
think it
probably
was
like
only-
explode.
Only like the charged ones, which is why we didn't touch them. But the broken one, I think, was fine. Was fine for us to take.
Well, that's not what they need, right? So they need the
No, they
charge.
said
stuff.
if we brought back a pillar of the uncharged one, that'd be fine. They
Yeah.
need more of
really?
the charged. Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
If you bring back a pillar of the uncharged one, it would be more than enough based on what Larissa Snowmaiden was telling you.
Okay.
All right. I thought we might explode trying to harvest it, but if that's not the case, then party on.
Yeah. Well, if we explode, I got diamonds. I'll just bring us all back to life.
Yeah.
But one of us has to live.
Unless I die too.
It has to
then
be
you're
you
all
who lives.
dead. Yeah.
And
So
you.
I'll hang back and you guys explode.
All
I'll
right.
watch.
Let's at least go and figure it out.
All right. It's canon. Sir Venom likes to watch.
All right. You would like to teleport to the circle within that mine?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Probably have to roll some checks
Did
or something.
you teleport us, Riku, or am I sending us there?
Well, take a peek.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that
I have
mean?
I have 2 5th level slots. If you're asking me to spend one, is that what you're asking?
He's asking.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter as long as whoever uses it now is the other one that uses
Sure.
it later. Take a peek. What is that?
I'll spend one. You spend one on the ride back. Riku says.
Yep, that works for me.
All right.
On.
Have a look.
And you arrive in the circle in front of the statue of the angel. The dead, the skeletons still in their places. The singular dun pillar off to your side right there.
So it's not charged, but it's like still standing or just totally destroyed.
Still standing and not charged.
So that's what we need, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we
Riku
just
starts walking for the exit. He's like, "All right, let me know when you're done."
we just yank. You just want me to yank it out? What do you want me to do?
Whatever
Let's,
the passageway is to get out here. Riku's
Maybe
gonna like
tie a rope around it and pull.
Well, how big around is the base?
It is roughly, I believe I described it as 4 or 5 feet wide, so therefore the diameter is, whatever that is. And then it's about 15 feet tall.
Okay, so I'd be like, all right, Axel, get ready to pull. Vincent, you help him. And then I'd like crouch down and touch the stone that is like anchoring it in place. And I would tell the stone in a magical manner to stop holding onto the crystal.
Oh,
And I'd cast Stone Shape.
getting ready to pull.
Okay. And so what are you stone shaping specifically? The floor?
Yeah, it looks like whatever like part of the stone floor is holding like the crystal in. So I'd like have the stone like kind of move out of the way so that it's not like anchoring the crystal in anymore, so that Axel can like pull it up without resistance.
Gotcha. So it's actually like a metal bracket on the floor that the stone has been, or the stone floor has been stone shaped such that the metal bracket is inset into the floor and that the stone is recessed underneath the crystal just a little bit so that it sits perfectly within the bracket on the floor itself. If you do sort of what I'm sort of envisioning, you can do this so that you drag it over to the teleportation circle. Is that the goal basically?
I think so.
Okay. What I would say is it's going to take more than just the two of you. I think it's probably going to take at least three of you to succeed on this, and it would be athletics checks. Riku, what are you doing in the process while they're pulling this thing over and doing the heavy lifting?
I was gonna walk down the tunnel here and take a gander at the open space and make sure there's no creepy crawlies taking up residence while we've been gone.
Gotcha. Yeah, there are no creepy crawlies so far as you can tell. Make a perception check as you come up out of this tunnel.
Okay. That one.
Yeah. No creepy crawlies that you can see. You do see the dead body of the Androsphinx lying exactly where you left it from, I think it's about been 10 days at this point. You can hear scraping of rock on rock. Axel, do you want to give us an athletics check as well?
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm sensing this is going to be difficult. And so I'm spitting on my hands, punching myself. Like, you know what? You ever seen strongman competitions and they start psyching themselves up and punch themselves in the head? And
yeah.
I'm going to
Yep.
rage when I do it so that I can roll at advantage.
Nice.
Fucking pissed.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of this. You come fucking top top.
This fucking rock.
27.
Very good thing that you did, because the 2 would not have gotten you there. 24 plus 16 plus 27 is over 60. Therefore, you are able to shift the rock into the teleportation circle using the combination of meld stone and your raw strength. It's quite the sound emanating up the tunnel towards you, Riku, as you look around at the scene of the Androsphinx, the blood having drained from it across the ground and dried, the ever bright flames of the campfires and the torches keeping the mine alight, but the still empty place that feels like a tomb holding these dead bodies and nothing else in front of you.
Riku just kind of shrugs and goes back to the group.
All
And you
right.
find them all in the stone circle, sweating profusely, having pulled it over into the magic circle.
You guys done here?
Oh, thanks for all your help, Riku.
Yeah, we got it.
Couldn't have done it without you.
I know. I teleported us here. Riku stands in circle.
Teleport us home.
So
That's
you want to
Savannah's
just,
job.
Yeah.
where would you like to go? Would you like to go straight back to Highport, or would you like to go somewhere else?
Might as well go straight back to Highport. Get rid of this
Yeah.
crystal thing.
We're going to show out how quickly we just pulled this off.
Gotcha. And you arrive back in Highport on the circle, literally minutes later, with an incredibly large piece of Chardalon, to which you see a tiefling looking down the stairs. Madam Snowmane, and they sort of like yell up the passage. You gotta come see this. And you can hear a bunch of boots moving as like tieflings come look, and you can hear murmurs and talking, and suddenly you see tieflings like clasping each other on the back.
When they come around the corner and see us, we're like posed with around the Charlotte.
In the Ginyu Force pose.
Yeah.
Larissa does that thing where she slowly walks down the stairs and says, "It's enormous. I can't believe that. How did you do it so fast? And she runs up and just begins to hug both Vincent and Sir Venom, because you're the closest of the four. And you can hear all these tieflings like cheering behind you, like, we're gonna be ourselves again. We don't have to live on the sea ghost any longer. We don't have to be pirates."
If she holds true to her word, Riku says, And if she doesn't, she's dead.
Oh shit!
And Larissa sort of goes, and if we don't get our bodies back, I'll give you permission to kill her, Riku.
You're
But
gonna help, Grandma.
damn right I will. Let me let me find that sending stone. And she like runs out, and you can see her like pushing through the crowd. What would you guys like to do?
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About to
I'm
call
gonna
her, right?
take a seat
Yeah.
on the crystal, all winded from having to drag
Can-
that because I am by far the weakest of all of
Where
us.
where do you want us to put this? 'Cause you got like the dolly or something?
Hey, watch what you say to my grandma.
What? Damn, Riku.
Where do you want this giant shaft, Grandma Rico?
And you can see tieflings like running off to go like tell their friends and stuff of what you've done. As Larissa Snowmane comes back, you can see that she's holding a sending stone, and you can see that she's just finished speaking into it as she comes down the steps, and it burned bright as she talked into it, and then she's holding it waiting, and then it burns bright, and you can see her sort of like perk up and like put her eyes sort of up as if she's like listening to something in her head. And she nods and she goes, okay, my understanding is that now that we have the Chardalon, we are to bring it to Terra Scola. It's a little island with an old temple off of it.
Ooh, I
My
like old
understanding,
temples.
it's a rather interesting little place. It's a white temple made out of like white sandstone, essentially, built on top.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, did we lose DM?
oh, headphone situation. So
What?
be fine. While we're
Nope.
waiting,
Yeah. While we're
You guys
waiting,
hear
I'm
me?
gonna get
Yeah, we got
Tensor's
you.
floating. I'm gonna get Tensor's floating disc up so that we don't have to carry this big honking thing.
okay.
And sheepishly look around and apologize for forgetting that I had this spell and that we had to carry it in the first place.
Okay.
well,
And
we
as
look
you put it
cooler
on the
now that we
disc,
have a spell.
yeah, you put it on the disc. There's no issue with that. She goes, yes, we're supposed to bring this to Terra Scola. It's an island that's only a few miles away from here. My understanding is that it has some connection, or some sort of arcane source of power, with which you'll use the Chardalon around, and we all have to gather there on the Sea Ghost. And if we do, then theoretically, we should be freed from this.
Cool.
So
Wonderful.
let's we should tag along and either watch this happen or be there to fight the demon that is
Yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah, one or the other.
You want us to bring it on our ship or?
I really hope we're
is-
not sacrificing your soul to a devil, Grandma.
Yeah.
Summon a worse one.
Like, so our ship is like half. What's it called? We got like half a crew on our ship.
Yeah, you're a little under.
So
You're like half strength, basically.
Yeah, if you want to if we can take on like 20 of your guys to come with us.
Fully crew the ship.
Oh, if you want, you can just join us all on the Sea Ghost to go over.
No. In case that goes away after the ritual, we don't want to. We want to make sure we have our ship nearby.
Yeah.
Ah,
Mr. Venom totally wants to ride on the Seagulls on the way there.
But yeah,
You-
we'll take a ride there,
okay.
but we need our ship nearby.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. My understanding is that Natasha is going to meet us there.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't wish to do anything before? All good? She sort of looks at you. I thought you were going to talk to her or something.
I think actions speak louder than words, and let's see if she, follows through with her deal. Riku's saying.
Good enough for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I feel like she's been
Um,
tracking us this whole time anyway. Is that
Yeah.
I'd say we
probably
should
knows everything that's been said.
put on cloaks and hide our true identities and then reveal ourselves. But then she knows everything we're doing.
Yeah, she already knows.
She's a little
what's up.
dream whore.
He is there.
Those of you who would take a ride on the Sea Ghost, I will pull it up. Your ship will ride alongside. But as you descend into the Sea Ghost, it is clear that it is enormous.
What the?
Whoa, this is like a city, a floating city.
Yes, it is a massive, enormous ship that Larissa describes to you was made out of the forests of Darkon, as big as possible to extract as many people as possible from Darkon. And that everybody got their own quarters, and that everyone was able to live on this basically indefinitely, was the idea. That they would sail as far west as possible before they decided to make a deal with the devil for their souls to escape from Darkon. And so they built the boat and then made the deal and sailed through the mist into the Sea of Swords. And it's been here that they found themselves ever since. As you sail on this enormous vessel, your boat behind, you approach what is clearly the island of Terrascola, described to you by your grandmother, Rico. It's an interesting place, rocky along the shore, which immediately leads up to an open facade you can see onto the inside of what ends up being a sandstoned little temple. It looks like not everyone is going to be able to fit on the island, but per Larissa saying it doesn't matter, your worries about this are sort of put to the side. As long as she's there, the individual who made the deal, those afflicted by the curse should have it undone. And so you take a rowboat with Larissa and a few other tieflings onto the island.
Yeah, preferably her like strongest fighters, just in case.
As you do so, you find yourselves on the island. Let's go with this. We'll just actually, you know what? I'll just open up the entire view. That way you guys can see everything. I don't mind doing that.
As we're as the boat is like coming up to it, can I send the Raven off to do a little scouting? See if
Yeah,
it sees anyone hiding or any monsters or beasties, traps of some kind.
totally. As you come up onto the island and place yourselves wherever you'd like, the Raven does a loop. Go ahead and make perception check.
Or I suppose it's a parrot at this point.
Sure.
Let's see. Gotta find the right stat block.
There she is.
Let's see. So perception plus 3. Oh, got a 6. They can't see as well because it's wearing a pirate hat and that and an eye patch, so kind of obscures some of its vision. Hence the 6.
Gotcha. Yeah, you see 3 figures, one of which is Natasha, one of which is Remeros, her husband, and one of which is Ayuz. They're not skulking in the shadows, they're simply standing inside one of the rooms, waiting for you all to come up on shore. And as you do so, she steps out into the space to be able to present herself. She sees you all and smiles and says, "Welcome, welcome. Quite the catch of Chardalon there. Well done, roosters, well done." And you can see, actually, each of you make an insight check. Damn, Sir Venom.
Yeah, it's a low roll.
Do we have one for Vincent?
Which was it for?
Insight check?
Insight.
Okay. You're not able, Riku and Vincent, you're not able to really make out too much. Axel, you can tell that she's actually kind of impressed. This is an enormous slab of Chardalon that you have, and you think that she's actually a little bit legitimately impressed. You don't necessarily sense any ill intent from her at the moment, Axel. Sir Venom, you get everything that Axel just had, but you get more. You see shock register on her son's face, on Ayuza's face, ever so briefly, as he realizes that you have collected such an enormous slab of Chardalon. But she looks at you and says, well, would you like to step up and we can enter the chamber to perform the ritual?
Before we get too much further, did we want Larissa looped in on the telepathy?
You could have done so on the boat if you wished before.
I figured on the way over we would have done that, but I didn't know. Like, I think we should include her, but what does the group think?
Riku.
Sure.
She can be included within the telepathy if you so wish.
We so wish.
Yeah. Would you like to head into the chamber that she directs you towards?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we made it all the way here.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. As you enter the chamber, it becomes immediately apparent why this is the place
Oh.
where this is going to occur. At the back of this chamber is very clearly a black obelisk in the same fashion and style that you recognize from Barovia, from outside of Homeport, many other obelisks that you've experienced so far.
Now, hold on, Grandma. This is
Riku.
this is some dark stuff they're toying with here.
She says, I know it.
Nothing good comes from that thing. Riku points at obelisk.
I know it. It looks like the king's tear that hung in the sky above Darkon. And Natasha steps up and she goes, no, I know what this looks like. Nothing good comes from these things. I typically agree. That said, there's something you don't know about these.
Enlighten us.
Have any of you ever heard of the Scrolls of Netheril?
Have we?
Nope.
I don't think we have.
Don't think so.
Okay. You've heard of the Netherese, yes? And you guys can roll history checks on that. Oh, damn, Sir Venom.
Yeah, rolling high.
Axel, even you would have heard of the Netherese. They were an ancient civilization that existed 2,000 years prior along the Sword Coast, and they were incredibly advanced magic users. Incredibly advanced. Sir Venom, you actually know what the Scrolls of Netheril are. The Scrolls of Netheril are these probably God-created scrolls that gave the Netherese their ability to understand magic so well. Natasha steps forward. Look, the Scrolls of Netheril, well, they're supposedly some of the greatest magical artifacts that ever existed. It's my belief that for some reason, they were scattered and placed across the world, encased in obsidian stones, and she points back at the black spire to lock something away. I know not what, but I know that they are incredibly powerful magical artifacts, and that their magic can be used to undo curses and to reverse the flow of time. All I wish to do is use the Chardalon to rejuvenate the power of these obelisks, to undo the curse laid upon these people.
Riku looks to the lads.
Like,
What do we think, boys?
it feels like this is some evil shit going down, but I can't come up with any reason we should stop her
Yeah.
other than like Black Obelisk is bad.
Yeah.
If you use this for nefarious favors, we will put you down right here and
Oh
now.
shit!
Make an intimidation roll.
Damn.
I'm a good guy now.
And Larissa stands with you and says, "Make that two of
My
us."
goodness.
And
Wah.
My
Natasha,
axe.
Fumbled my words.
Natasha sort of smirks and says, "Look, I only wish to help these people, Riku. Although I don't think we've seen that you're a tiefling. When did this happen? Anyways, I only wish to help these people. I understand what it's like to be trapped in a place like, in their instance, Darkon. And frankly, my only goal is to find more of these places and undo them. I've been looking for Darkon for a while. I've not yet recognized where it lives, but, well, if I can find it, I'll take it away. There's more that I know too, but that could be for another time."
Sir Venom would step up and be like, before we commit to this, let's get a divine second opinion on this. And I would cast augury.
Okay, what does that do?
Who leans in and says, "Don't worry, he's just talking to his god real quick. Give us a sec."
This is augury. So I'd like pluck a feather from my wings and infuse it with my Raven Queen divine energy, and say a quick prayer to her, and like tell her, we intend to let this Natasha person use the Chardalon to try to awaken these scrolls to undo a curse, and see if she has any divine insight into whether that would be a good idea or not.
Okay. You do this. The casting time takes you a minute to do so. Or unless you want to do it as a ritual, it's up to you.
Oh, I mean, it's from one of my my magic items.
Oh, okay. Okay. Takes a minute to do so using the magic item with the feather. It says it provides you a reading of wheel for good results. That Natasha's plan will provide good results.
Okay.
Natasha's plan is executed.
Wow, that's
The glowing
quite
feather in my
useful.
hand like turns to glowing dust and fades away. And I open my eyes back up and I said, "Well, the Raven Queen thinks it's a good idea. That's
But
good enough for me."
wasn't the Raven Queen? Didn't she come about from the book of the evil book?
True.
Yeah,
Evil things.
book of absolute evil doesn't matter. She's my
We've
queen.
seen that. So Riku says, "Good point, Axel. We've seen that evil objects can do both, create good and bad things."
Okay. Hey, as long as we know what we're doing, because if she says good results, we don't know if those are good results for her or just good results like,
I trust
you
the
know.
Raven Queen.
Oh God.
And she sent Sir
Rika's.
Venom, who's been nothing but helpful, so.
Are you guys saying this out loud, or are you having this conversation? In your
I'm
mind?
I'm talking in my head, like,
Yeah, this is in the
yeah.
head.
Because if you see, like, Axel's way over here. After seeing that obelisk, Axel, back the fuck up.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, if you guys
Yeah,
think it's cool,
Riku's-
go for it.
Riku's gonna give her the okay. Be like, do it.
Yeah, so I'd go stand closer to Natasha and beckon the floating disc with the Chardalon closer to her. Be
Excellent.
like, my queen seems to think that your plan is a good one, so I'll back your play.
She looks at you and says, "Your queen. You don't happen to mean the Raven Queen, do you?" Sort of looking you up and down with your Raven insignia stuff all over you.
Uh-oh.
What
Like-
gave it away?
Yeah, what gave it away? Is it the Raven Feather Sword, the Raven Wings, the general super goth Raven look I have about me?
You know, maybe we should have that other conversation now. Why would she send you of all people?
Well, she had, several people at her disposal, but at the time of need for this group of adventurers, I was what they needed most. They needed someone with my my clerical skills and my divine magic.
Indeed.
And I had also been kind of bugging her for a while that I wanted to get out, stretch my wings, and go on some adventures.
And
So
what is
Venom
your?
has proven himself true.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But what is your brief from the Raven Queen?
Oh, my brief. She sent me out here to assist Sir Vincent in particular in these adventurers, and to gather memories to bring back to her.
To gather memories. There's the heart of the matter. There's the heart of the matter.
Well,
And
if you're familiar with the Raven Queen, it's always about memories.
indeed,
So I'm out
indeed.
here. I'm out here trying to make some good ones.
And have you ever thought about what happens if she can't find these memories to collect? What occurs?
I'd imagine something bad, but that's why I'm out here trying to get all the memories I can.
Well, again, that's the
As
heart of the
we as
matter,
we
isn't it?
know, gods and nature are both good and bad. They can't be, all one or the other, but they try to stay in one more than the other. Isn't that right? And Ryu kind of like gives her a look.
Well, it's not entirely wrong. I mean, there are those who believe themselves to be gods like Strahd, and who are clearly not, yet are only evil. There are those who are gods, yet probably commit more evil than they intend. You see, well, how do I put this? Some deities gain strength through faith. Your belief in them gives them power and reality. Supposedly, there's dead husks floating in the astral sea of gods who are no longer believed in. The Githyanki live on these husks, it's said. I read about this in Candlekeep one time. But the Raven Queen, she lives through the memories of others. She needs memories to be able to exist. It's my conclusion through research at Candlekeep and other places that some of the places like Barovia might act like soul is not the correct term, memory farms for the Raven Queen. These places live in perpetuity. Those who are born without souls, why, their memories have already been absorbed by Her Majesty. And so Darkon and Barovia, these domains of the Raven Queen, exist in a limbo hell where people cannot leave or come and go to help her exist.
So-
Roll an insight check, everyone, and for yourself, Sir Venom, roll an Arcana check or a religion check, up to you.
I can't roll insight or insight and Arcana.
Insight and Arcana, or yeah, insight and Arcana or religion.
Let's go with the religion.
Whether or not, so everybody except for Riku, whether or not you understand the specific mechanics of what she's saying, you get the sense that there's an earnesty and an honesty behind her words, that she believes what she's saying. Sir Venom, what she's saying feels right in a way that is unlike anything else you've experienced during your time in the court of the Raven Queen.
So if I was grew up in the court of the Raven Queen, wouldn't I have heard about these memory farms in some fashion?
Well,
If it was actually the Raven Queen who had created these.
you know that where the Raven Queen resides in this city within the Shadowfell, that outside of the city exists what is referred to as the Eternal Wastes, and that the Eternal Wastes hold pockets of mist and fog from which people do not return if they enter them.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's a cleric of the Raven Queen. He's gonna back the Raven Queen no matter what she does. Because everybody
Hi.
would just kind of like cross his arms and be like, well, maybe my queen is the one who made these areas, but she's also the one who sent me to help bring an end to Barovia. So it's not up to us to know the motivations of a divine being like the Raven Queen.
Roll a persuasion check, actually. And take an inspiration for that. You get an inspiration if you'd like for this, for next session as well if you want. 20. That's pretty good. She looks at you kind of surprised, and she goes, "That's fair. Maybe there's a reason behind these actions. I have considered some of that, but I've yet to find any evidence of it. What I will say is that I believe that she considers this a necessity for some reason. And so I would like to undo as many of those things as possible. That is all."
So are you saying that you serve the Raven Queen as well?
Oh, very much no. I don't serve anybody but my own interests, and my interests have typically been in dispelling as many of those misty realms as possible, freeing the poor souls and those memories.
Well, it
Damn.
seems the Raven Queen wants you to do whatever you're about to do. So whatever it is you're up to, my queen must approve of it. So I'll support this endeavor at least right now.
She looks kind of perplexed by this, but she says, "Well, I don't believe there's any issue with this." And she looks across you all. "Larissa, truly, I do believe this will work. Again, my plan has only ever been to use the wish spell locked inside the obelisk to transform you all back to who you were. The Chardalon should power it well enough for all of you. If you'd all like to gather, please follow me." And she and Remeros enter.
I'd follow closely behind Natasha.
Remeros is closely beside. Ayu's off to the side. Larissa standing in front as Natasha sort of beckons her in.
Uh,
You guys all
Like,
join?
what do you think, Vincent? Are we going in?
Yep. Let's do it.
All
I'd
right.
stand ready to
Do it.
Climbs down the ladder.
Okay.
stand ready
Uh,
to help Natasha. Like, I don't know,
if
channel some of my magic into her to help her with like whatever ritual she's doing.
I turn into one of these things, I'm gonna be pissed.
I want to be a were raven.
You want to be a were-raven?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been sitting on a wish spell for like 9-10 months now.
I think we're close enough to like where the lycanthrope island is, so where he can just like go over there and just like hold out his arm and let some raven bite him or something.
Yeah, I've probably got some were-raven buddies that we can hook you up with.
Yeah. Just gonna have to like bang one of them and transfer it.
Oh, whoa.
Hope you don't mind little bird flu.
All the tieflings that you entered the island with, that you came onto the island
So-
with, they're all sort of crowded around watching from outside.
Before anything happens, Axel would ask if it's cool if humans are in here or if it's like, is it cool?
Should be no issue.
Uh,
My
I don't think
understanding is that it's only going to. I'm going to word the wish very carefully, so that only those afflicted will be affected by this.
and what happens if we're not in this room?
The only person who really needs to be here is Larissa Snowmane.
All right,
She's the
yeah.
individual who inflicted the curse.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Okay.
I can't. I'm too cool. I can't be a Birdman or a devil guy. Okay. I like me the way I am.
Larissa looks back at you, Riku, and she's got kind of teary-eyed. You can see that this is, frankly, a really big deal for her. And she says, "Thank you, my boy. I never thought, one, I would see Azrael again. And though I've not, your you're everything I could have ever hoped for in a grandson. And when this is done, I can't wait to live on the Sword Coast.
You can come stay with me, Grammy.
Natasha, I'm ready. And when you're done, you can have all the gold in the vault. It's all yours. And she goes, appreciated. And she looks to the lot of you and she goes, I use the gold for these sorts of things, you know. I'm just doing more research.
It's a lot of gold. Should talk about some investments you could make.
She begins to put her hands on the obelisk and she begins to cast and channel magic into it. The large bit of Chardalon in front of her begins to glow ever so slightly, and the ritual begins. It is going to take roughly an hour. So if there's anything you would like to do, you may do so. During this time, IUs will begin to pace. Many of the tieflings outside will begin to sit down or hold hands and softly speak to one another, their hopes and dreams of what they can achieve in a better, different life on the Sword Coast. But Larissa mostly stays quiet, holding her hands on the obelisk, waiting for Natasha to tell her more. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I just want to tell IUs I want to talk to him after this.
He goes, yeah, whatever you want, big guy.
Yeah. Just talk.
Yeah, it's
After
Solar
this,
Monkey.
after this is done, let's talk.
He does not meet your eyes as you say this to him.
Yeah, he's a coward.
It's like noticeable that he like kind of refuses to sort of meet your eyes, and
Oh, he'll meet him.
you don't even need an insight check. You can tell he doesn't really want to talk to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna corner him.
That could be like the group's next big adventure. Just going and saving Piccolo.
Yeah, I just want to know where he is. All right, do your thing.
Ayuz becomes engrossed in conversation with his father at one point, and you can see a big grin on Remoros's face, and they're sort of like laughing and joking at some point. Larissa continues to hold her hands. Natasha is deep in focus. Is there anything you're doing in particular, Sir Venom or Vincent, Riku?
I'm just
watching this
yeah, I'm
unfold.
just staying close to
Yeah, just watching. I want to see what
I guess-
happens.
support the ritual and make sure nothing sketchy goes on.
Okay.
Vincent would be keen to keeping an eye on his bow while all this is happening.
You would be keen to be keeping an eye on your bow.
Yeah, dream.
Okay.
Something about if she had something to do with this place. She has something to do with the bow.
Gotcha. Okay. As the ritual continues, you can see the light continue to build and build and build, both around the obelisk and the Chardalon, but also around Natasha and Larissa Snowmane. And as it does so, you see several things. That her form begins to blur a little bit. You can see elven ears poking through a little bit more, a fading of the blue hue to her skin, the horns fluffing ever so slightly, the tail shortening. You can see these effects begin to take place in front of you. You can begin to see that Larissa Snowmane is reverting into a half-elf. And it begins to take itself stronger and stronger the longer the ritual goes on.
Is anything happening to Riku? Is he still keeping his tiny horns and his red face?
As you look over at Riku, you see the same beginning to happen. But Riku, I would like you to make a will saving throw, please.
Oh, it's a will saving throw.
Or sorry, a wisdom saving throw. I've been playing some Pathfinder 2e, so wrong terminology.
Wisdom save, you say?
Yes, please.
My eyes not see. Just a straight wisdom?
Wisdom save, which would be
Top left box.
Are
Our save
you,
throws.
are you okay?
Yeah, have you played D&D before?
I think you have a +1 to it by the looks of it. All right. That was exactly what you needed. So the idea strikes you as you feel yourself slipping towards your half-elven form once more, that if you would like, you can push off the effects of the ritual,
Mm.
Ooh, big
and
choice.
you can remain as a tiefling if you so wish.
I think, whew. Well, this happened a lot more quickly than I was expecting.
Same. Same, dude.
Well, I suppose canonically, I'd go back to being a half elf because that's like,
Yeah.
that's who I
It
was,
did fudge up your
Okay.
stats a little bit.
and
If
it did do that.
if you want, you can always retain certain qualities. You can be somewhere in between. But if you want to look a certain way, you can choose that way.
Oh.
I would prefer to go back to half elf, I suppose.
I think you got to make like a custom race or something, and
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. We can make you a
Maybe.
custom race and have that be on your character sheet for sure. But if you want to appear
Half-elf,
half elven,
half-tiefling?
we can go back
Yeah.
to that.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And as you see Riku changing, power crescendos and builds and crescendos. And just on the cusp of all of this, you hear Ayuz mutter some words, and everything freezes.
Oh.
You're in the midst of a time stop spell that he casts.
That
Oh.
little bastard.
And he begins to walk through everything, looking at Larissa Snowmane, then to you, Riku. And you hear him say, "Huh, didn't think you two were related, though I can kind of see some of the resemblance." And he touches your horn. He looks over at you, Vincent. Nice bow you got there. Careful where you put that thing. And he looks to Remoros. You know, my dad's also got a different form. Personally, I'd love to be able to see what that looks like. But Mom won't let him bring it out. Something about, he's too scary.
Did this time stop? Did it hit Axel as well outside?
Yeah, hit everyone in the area. And as he's moving about, I need everyone to please make a wisdom saving throw. Again,
Damn.
please, if you have not done so.
Oh, I'm gonna use one of my
Oh,
2 inspirations.
finger
to
guns.
reroll that.
Oh, that's pretty good, Axel. Wow. Okay. Sir Venom and Axel, you have pushed off some of the time stop. You can take a reaction if you so wish.
Can I move, or is it just?
You can. You will in. Let me see. I think it's going to be 1d4 turns. So let me roll that.
Okay. Let's see my
I
reaction
don't-
here.
All my reactions are just opportunity attack or absorb elements.
Yeah. I just got uncanny dodge as an opportunity attack, so I can't really do anything.
Okay.
I'm guessing time is not an element.
Yeah. He has 2 more turns and he goes, "Oh, time is running out by the looks of it." And he walks over to his mother and he takes her hands off the obelisk and puts Remoros's hands on the obelisk and switches their places. "Oh, sorry, Mom. This one's gonna sting a bit. And have fun, everyone." And he casts teleport and he leaves.
What a coward.
And you are all free to move again. And as he does so, Larissa lets out a scream, and suddenly, instead of switching back and forth, phasing back and forth between tiefling and half elf, she begins to phase back and forth between tiefling and skeleton. And you see Remoros phasing back and forth across something else. His form, current form, and that of a 12-foot tall, enormous, handsome, purple skinned, shirtless tiefling humanoid-looking man with a terrible demeanor and an awful look upon his face.
Ooh, is there now that we're free? Can I take an action?
Yeah. As this is happening, Natasha goes, "What? No, no, what happened? No. How is he?" And if you would like to do something, you have 1 round of actions and movement and everything to do something.
I'm going to try summoning, doing a divine intervention to see if I can get my my queen to intervene. Come on, 1. Yes.
Did you really just roll that? Are
What
you
did you?
fucking
Yep.
kidding?
What did you roll?
That is, he rolled for his divine intervention. He needed a 1 out of
No,
10.
but like, what was the? It was a D10, and oh damn.
Yeah, it's a D10. All right, so I'm gonna see if she can like undo the switch and like
You've been on
make
fire rolling all night.
seriously and see if use that to make it so that Natasha and Remoros never switch places, so that Natasha can finish her ritual.
Damn.
Just gonna rewrite the DM's plans.
That's the way the game works. So give me divine intervention. I just want to double check the terms of the spell.
It's like, you're gonna talk trash about the Raven Queen, I'll show you.
Right?
Damn.
Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use action. Describe the assistance you seek. Roll a percentile. So you hit the percentile. You roll a number equal to. Yep. DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell would be appropriate. I would say, is there a cleric spell that undoes, like that's time based? Because that's the real thing that you're fighting up against, right? You're fighting up against a time stop. So let me just check that. Yeah, neither do
Well,
I.
like dispel magic.
Well, I mean, since I'm an Arcana cleric, eventually I'm pretty sure I can get Wish.
Oh, you can. Interesting. Let's check the chronergy spells. Because I think there's a whole slew of like time spells technically.
Yeah, we're entering new territory for me. I don't even know what's going on with these like crazy magic spells that are starting to pop up.
Yeah, are we gonna be time traveling? Be sick.
The homie just did a time spell.
Yeah.
Like,
But that was like a little. He was like touching people and stuff. Kind of weird.
he touched my time. I didn't like it.
All right, so
Cool.
augury is a pretty good one. That's a time one. Slow, time stop. Oh, this is from 7 years ago. I gotta check the Critical Role book that came out because it's got a bunch of time spells. Give me a moment here. And I think that's Exandria or Wildmail. Here we go.
I started getting ready to change my character sheet back, and then you're like, hold on a minute. Not so fast there, buckaroo.
I can't believe I rolled a 1 for that. 10% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Now fucking Penguin's trying to pull the Uno reverse on you.
Because being the Arcana cleric, like, really messes with it. Because I get like I'm pretty sure like later levels I can choose like wizard spells.
Okay. What I will say is that you can use this. And this is a Chronergy Wizard specific feature. So you're going to use a reaction to basically force Remoros to see if he gets pulled off. So he's going to make let me just roll for him. He's going to make a Constitution saving throw. to get pulled off. And I'm actually going to ask you to roll as well against me. And I'm rolling secretly. So go ahead and just roll a 1d20 plus your spell modifier.
I wonder if I have an easy button I can click for that. It's +6.
Nice.
Oh, so close to a nat 20. I'm gonna use my second inspiration to
Yep.
re-roll that.
Okay.
I guess we'll stick with the 8.
Yeah.
So 14.
14's not good enough. I rolled a 12. He had a +6. So he got an 18. You do not switch them, but he stops changing in between the form that you were seeing momentarily, and he seems to stay who he is. And as this is happening, Natasha runs over and says, I'm sorry. I can't stop it. It's too late. And she grabs Remeros and she says, you're never getting away, you bastard. Why did I ever have a son with you? And she goes to cast teleport to leave. Do you guys stop her in any way, or?
I don't think I have any. I already used my action.
So do we have like a turn?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys have a turn while this is happening. Is there anything else that you're doing?
Yeah. Ooh, if I go to tackle them while they're teleporting, do I get teleport with them? I feel like that would
Or
happen.
would it
What was
disrupt
her
the
name again?
teleport? If you could.
Natasha?
Riku says Natasha
Oh,
and cast Psychic Lance at her.
Ooh. Nice.
No, but she seems to be like one of the good guys actually.
Well, if it could stop her from teleporting away if she fails taking that much psychic damage, or half if she succeeds a int 16 save.
Int 16. Let me just roll that. She rolled a 10, so her save was a 22. She's all good.
Okay. Takes 9 damage then.
Gotcha. And does it stop her from doing something else in particular, or does it?
No, I don't think it does anything. Let me just double check, but
Okay.
It's supposed to knock them prone if it succeeds.
Oh, okay.
Them mobile. Yeah, would have made her incapacitated.
Oh, if it had succeeded.
That's it.
Gotcha. So that's Riku. That's your action. Axel, Vincent, Sir Venom. What are you guys gonna do?
Do we want them to leave? Or I mean, obviously, I guess we
I had
know.
more questions.
Yep. Axel has no idea what's going on.
You know, while we have her here in physical form instead of in her fucking dreams, had more questions.
Telepathically, I'd be like, Axel, go after the dude.
Remeros?
Yeah, go for Remeros. He's a dick.
All right. Shit. There's nowhere for me to stand.
You can push your way through.
Excuse me. All right, but then the thing is, if I grapple this guy, you want me to attack him or grapple him? Because if I grapple him and he teleports out, I don't want to disappear.
Go for a ride.
Yeah. But maybe I could be the homing beacon.
We'd still be telepathically linked.
Yeah.
No, say plane.
Assuming they stay on the plane.
True. Can teleport take you to different planes?
They have a version of that can.
Ooh, okay. So Natasha's the one teleporting Remeros, right?
He looks to go grab him to teleport him away. That's right.
So if I just push her away from the guy, but then does he change into some super monster? do we really not want him to change into a super monster?
I think didn't my divine intervention stop him from changing?
Your divine intervention attempted. Your divine intervention did stop him from changing. That's right.
Okay.
Did not stop him from keeping his hands on the obelisk entirely. He made a Constitution saving throw.
I
'cause
will
He's a little different.
use my action to, in a non-violent manner, show. Actually, first, can I use a bonus action during this turn?
Yes, you can.
All right, just in case shit does go south, I'm gonna make sure I'm raging.
Okay.
And then I would like in a non-violent manner, like I'm not trying to like hurt her, but I want to separate her from this Remoros fella.
Okay.
Just like
Go ahead and just make an athletics check.
Yeah, and a little, a kind shove, gentle, very gently.
Like a repositioning.
Oh, they're attached apparently.
Okay. And
Oh.
so as she goes to grab at him, one, she feels this awful psychic lance arc through her mind. Two, she feels you shove her to the ground.
Yeah, just we'll shove her back, not to mostly the ground, just like shove her, into that area, and I kind of just like squeeze in right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you do technically have, I would say you have another attack if you want to do anything.
Ooh, do I want to attack this guy?
Or maybe just get his hands off the obelisk.
Ooh, do I pull him away from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a pull away from obelisk.
Okay.
Or shove him out this window right here.
I feel like we need him.
Later.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we want him getting away. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull him.
Grapple him and take him down to the ground.
Pull him in, pull him away. Get away from that.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
All right. Ooh, that dice just skipping all over the place. 31.
That is really, really good. Let me see if I
Wow.
can find.
Say
Give me a
strong.
moment here. I'm gonna
Is he a
do
strong-
one thing. I know we're at the end of the session, but
Is
I
he a
want to
strong boy?
make sure that I roll
Bring
this.
him to the
appropriately.
ground
feel
and
like
get him
we're
all
get-
greased up.
Yeah. Yeah, coming with me, there, baby.
And would any of us have recognized like the form he turned into? Like, can we
I
roll like Arcana or History to see if like we recognize from
Shit.
like an old bard story or like one of the Raven Queen memories or something?
Am I gonna get zapped because I'm touching him while he's touching the obelisk?
Maybe.
I guess if anybody's gonna test it, it might as well be Axel.
Luckily, you're raging.
Oh, so hard.
All right. I'm just like adding
Yeah.
something.
See, I don't like how long this is taking. I feel like I'm getting got.
Putting Nick on a lot of hard spots tonight.
Hey, things progressed in a way that was very rapid. And
Yeah, we
very
got that
interesting.
Chardlon. It was like, we need to get Chardlon. Okay, here it is.
Like, oh yeah, we know where a ton of it is.
Yeah,
You
good
can roll
recall.
a religion check, by the way, Sir Venom.
Okay.
Ooh, big
Good
roll.
recall on whoever brought that up.
Big roll, 7.
Yeah, I knew that shit was gonna come in important.
And this is his dexterity saving, strength saving throw for being pushed away. I think he's probably going to fail. You recognize him as his form holds ever so slightly, ever so briefly, as Grazit, one of Asmodeus's lieutenants.
He's a
He looks
devil.
like this.
Guys.
Very much a devil.
Oh,
Not just a devil,
Ooh,
but an archdevil.
Ooh, with a sweet sword.
Very
Oh.
cool.
He looks
Yeah,
cool.
fighting him would have been crazy.
And you're successful in the way that you pull him off, Axel.
Mhm.
And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start in combat next time in turn
Cool.
order with these folks. And we'll pick it up from here next time.
Okay.
Nice.
Epic session.
Yeah. That was like 3 or 4 sessions worth of information I thought was going to take a while to tease out.
So I have a
Oh, yeah,
question. How is Rick Tavio related to Riku?
That's his grandfather.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
He
Yeah, there was
has
a lot
them
to
this
go over
whole
then.
time.
Say that
Yeah,
again,
like-
Vincent?
Family reveals, big bad
And he has been the
reveals.
whole time, even when he was with them.
Yeah.
Did you know back then?
I've always known.